Hey everyone, welcome to VR Master League here on Channel 2. We've got for you the EU Challenger Cup. We are the second to last week. We are deciding who makes it to the finals next weekend, and we are on venues and here on VRML 2. Exciting times ahead. I'm Palador, being joined by Nightfire in the cast. We've got Wonder T-Man in the cams. We've got Psychaotic on the sidelines today, and we have Donda Academy versus Dauntless. So looks like we're going right into it, readied up right away. Although that said, you might note a lack of a fourth currently on Donda Academy. Unfortunate there, but we'll roll with it and hope the fourth shows up. Hey, Nightfire?
Yeah, you certainly do hope that your fourth shows up, especially in a moment where you're trying to lock in a position to compete in the grand finals of Season 5. A chance at a prize pool that is ever growing from our sponsors. And out the gate, Dauntless is going to set things straight with a two-pointer and say, well, you know, that 4-3 advantage, it could lead to some very quick rounds here this afternoon in this series.
Yeah, it's going to be certainly tough, especially on the second to last weekend, the penultimate weekend of this fifth season. Always kind of a tumultuous time, those Challenger Cups. A lot of unexpected things happen, and you want to have your full roster to show up. And now they're going to be in a position where they're forced in this very careful play, because a single mistake here with three players can cost them dearly.
Yeah, trying to work the triangle formation here to get out of their own zone. But the thing is, Dauntless has the comfort, that option to provide a little additional pressure out the gate. That pressure forces a missed pass down the tunnel, doesn't get cleared all the way, and is intercepted. A quick shot down into the zone, and a great snag by Mandak for the shot off the backboard for a 2, avoiding the on-goal goalie there. Just like that, Dauntless expand their lead to 4.
A couple of quick goals there. What's up to Twitch chat? Thank you for joining us either here on VRML2 or on venues as well. But see, Scubzy and Akappy, as well as Amlock, Nadash, Scubzy, Tom Dash, welcome to it. And back into this round.
No.
Well, no one there except Mandak,
no.
and with another attack on the goal this time for 6 points.
The double stack rolled out, and I don't know if there was a missed grab there or what happened with their rollout, but the QB came out a bit too slow, and the aggressive defense that is allowed to be played right now with this 4-3 advantage ends up flying right at the disc. Finally, though, the disc is cleared downfield. The double stack not able to get down to it in time. Instead, the defense intercepts, and Sosig now going to try and work this disc up for maybe a 3-point attempt. The long-distance shot goes just a touch wide. Maybe the 2 follow-up. Indeed, it will be. No, there's a good
nice
stop.
Yeah, H-Low going down low with that clear. Now a second attempt there, but the stack already on the way on the intercept. It's Ichira's the captain here with the grab for Dauntless, and it gets lost in that trap for a quick second before being slapped on out. Some nice leeches from Ruskin, nice stuns, but right back at him was Satori, and Satori eyeing the 3, but the 3 denied by H-Low. And now trying to contest this the best they can, but disc going back momentarily now to Dauntless.
Yeah, those missed clears are definitely going to hurt a little bit. The duo stack doing their best to put up a good defensive, but here's that 1v2 opportunity, and on-goal goalie can't watch for that pass on the low side and for the shot up top, and ultimately Mandak takes that shot up top. 8-0 lead now, and I think obvious for us, Palador, the solution here for Dauntless is to go for that mercy. It certainly seems like it could be an option for them right now, as they are continuing to keep the opposing team, Donda Academy, down to 0 points.
Yeah, and if you're on Dauntless, this is what you got to do. Definitely not the situation you like to see, but competitively speaking, you just got to press. That said, a full press down the court, and it does result in the 2. So the first points now broken onto the scoreboard. And Donda Academy showing they've still got some fight in them here.
Yes, indeed. A nice little showing there, managing to get down into that zone with that double stack. And again, a nice bit of teamwork to get them that 2 points. It makes you wonder what we could have been seeing here, Pally, if there was all 4 available for the Donda Academy squad. But regardless, a nice little bit of flare movement there, pass down and into the zone of Donda Academy, gets quickly intercepted, and defense trying their best to keep the disc out of the zone.
Nice little handoff pass, and another array of them down the floor, kind of laterally to Sausage, right back to the other side to Satori. Just hanging around the Pac-Man, and off to the back man. And, well, there it is again. It's Ichiriz off a nice assist. All the passes in a row. They were patient with it. They find themselves now 8 points ahead.
For those that are tuning in, a quick reminder that we have multiple games live now. I know Pally said it at the start of the round, but we also have another match live over on twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague and YouTube, Facebook, and Horizon venues. So if you do want to catch more action, you can on those channels. But we obviously do have games planned for the whole day this afternoon. 4 matches ahead of us. Obviously, this one's still in play as a nice bit of defense does work the disc back in to Donda Academy's hands and down into the zone of Dauntless.
And right back to Donda Academy, though, and to Dauntless, rather, as will be Mandak with a push up the floor here. Some good lane coverage, but just beneath the reach of the defender. One more pass, and it results in the beautiful finish. Nice and easy for Sausage. And 12-2. Certainly just keep on piling the points, and Curtis Steve a lot of passes. They're not taking the 3v4 advantage lightly. They're still playing very fundamentally sound.
Well, especially now when you're at the start of a tournament, right? The start of this Challenger Cup, you do want to come out and get a good warm-up, if anything. Dauntless want to come out and play this locked in and focused. Get those passes locked in. Get the arms loose. Get everything in sync. And we definitely saw that happening there on that play. A very nice bit of passing back and forth. There's a good stack and push all the way up into the zone. A great toss. And the 360 flare dunk goes just a bit wide. Dings, but still into the hands of Dauntless.
Yeah, tough on the finish, but they'll get the return from Satori right off the anchor, 7 meters into that 2-point shot. Now, Twitch pointed it out here, just checking it out. Donda Academy, they do have 5 players on the roster. Their 5th would either be Skag or Polar81. And just based on what I saw over on the Discord, too, it sounds like it was a tight scheduling kind of thing where there's still a chance their 4th does show up. It just sounds like maybe it would be late, if anything else. So set their sights on maybe round 2 after a nice save from H-Low, and just kind of hope they can weather the storm until they maybe get a 4th.
Oh, shot goes a bit wide there with a nice center pass. Still, though, into the hands of Dauntless. Satori gets the disc, and there's a good back pass to Itriz to dunk that in, finally locking it in. And to your point earlier, Pelly, I think if they can get that 4th in, Donda then does just need to continue to buy time, right? What they can't afford is for a mercy to happen and cut this round short. They need all 3 minutes here to get as much time as they can for their 4th to come in. And so, if anything, they're just trying to play spoiler to that mercy option, which is getting closer and closer, only 8 points away from that happening.
Yeah, definitely something to be wary of here, as I'm sure they're well aware on the opposite side here, as Dauntless just losing the disc now to that back stack getting into the defensive zone quickly. They are not able to find a solid clear, however. Now they're at a numbers disadvantage inside that bubble. It's 3-on-1 and 2 points to put them up 18-2 now.
Yeah, this is getting a little dangerous. Again, getting close to that mercy. It's all about the joust here for the Donda Academy squad. They need to get this successful joust. They need to get up into the zone of Dauntless. And the trouble is that they are not able to, because this aggressive defense keeps flying at them and stunning them and disrupting them from getting down into their clear. They get the disc back into their hand, down back into the zone. Itriz takes that one all the way, and now they're 2 points away from locking in round 1 for themselves.
Yeah, seems like impending doom here for Donda Academy, but they have held out at least the 8 minutes thus far of game time. And as far as like the regular season goes, that's a thing too. A talented team clearly, because they were 18-9 in wins and losses. Dauntless a couple seeds ahead at 12-4, but clearly with that many games played across the season, Donda Academy, I mean, they're a hungry team. They're a team who wins way more than they lose, but just not having it this time around is, well, a save off of the 360, but still floats on in through the bottom of the goal. That's the mercy.
Yeah, and, even going back to looking at past history with these two teams, they played this season. Donda Academy going 26-28 of Dauntless, ultimately taking the W, but still very close. Sai, round 1 ends in a mercy. What are we thinking here going into round 2 and maybe 3?
Well, I'm thinking before we get to round 2, it is time for Donda Academy to take their time out for a multitude of reasons. First, maybe, holding out hope. Maybe that 4th player shows up. You have a full 4 minutes to burn here with a timeout. But also, they have got to figure something out. They, what they're doing right now, obviously they're playing down a man, but the way they're going about it, isn't working for them. So right now, Dauntless is adapted their playstyle a bit to take advantage of that numbers advantage. They're playing full speed ahead with their fast passes that is making the Donda Academy players' heads spin. And the way they are playing is making it difficult for Donda Academy to collect themselves. So what I've been noticing is they've got 2 players on Dauntless that are covering the pass lanes, right? So they're covering the 2 options from whoever has the disc, and then they crash in from those lanes to cover the lane and apply pressure. And it is very consistently forcing a bad pass that the back stack of Dauntless is able to scoop up and then create a quick numbers advantage that they've been capitalizing on almost every single time.
All right, well, excellent word there from Chaotic, trying to find some of the diamonds in the rough. That was round 1, at least for the side of Donda Academy here, as they launched out, still 3 down. Now, again, this is a double limb tournament, keep in mind, so it doesn't end here necessarily. This is the first game of the day, so they still definitely have a chance to get that 4th later on, but they've just got to hold on strong, and thus far, nice initial joust to deny a quick score. But they will lose it out at the end now to a 2-on-1. The pass right below, incomplete, and still maintained by Sausage.
One of the few missed passes we've seen come in from Dauntless this afternoon so far. There's another good one, though. That connects to Sausage. A nice cross to the center. It locks in a 2. Yeah, we have not just today, too, pal. You know, this thing leads into tomorrow as well. You know, and so even if they do lose here, right now, like you said, they have a chance to potentially win out in our losers bracket matches, which we'll be getting to later in the evening. I think those are matches 3 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. And so we very well could see Donda Academy again. I don't anticipate there to be any more 4v3s unless Donda can't get their 4th in time for their next matchup. So, you know, this likely will be the only one we see as Mandak locks in another 2 for Dauntless.
No, certainly hope so. And this is one of those times where I'd have my fingers crossed for no casters cursing. But
yeah.
but yeah, because again, this team here, they did play all season long, put up plenty of games, and they're double up on their wins compared to their losses. So you know the talent is there, but either way, they're just having to work with what they've got. And right now, they do have the disc as H-Low bounces it right through mid, but just patiently waiting with Satori with another take back.
Yeah, uncontested, and it allows them to go for this again. Great setup. Another great cross pass. Mandak dunks that in for 2. What's interesting to me is that they're not going for 3s. They're not trying to go for anything extravagant or get, you know, any long-range shots. Really, I think all series, I don't think we've seen a 3 get thrown in from Dauntless yet. It's been strictly 2s. If anything, as I say that, as I say that, but it's been interesting that they really have been focusing on getting into the zone and attacking like that.
Yeah, well, it's also one of those cases too where the 3-man team, unless they're willing to commit to a full 3-man chain, which is inherently very risky, they also have to generally leave a person a bit back. They don't have the benefits of that extra stacking partner at the moment. So positionally speaking, they're also kind of forcing them into some more 2-point shots on a lot of these plays. As you can see, just way in the back line there, H-Low trying to play that while the stack got back, and with some success. So they do maintain possession after all, and will get through the midline. If they can get their stacks fast, they might even have an open 3 here, but they missed their regrabs, unfortunately.
So close, almost had the opportunity to really cut this lead in half almost with the 3. But as I say that, almost a 3 gets locked in there. Almost a long distance trench shot. Just goes a touch wide, still into the hands of Dauntless though. And another good pass up into the corner to allow Mandak his attempt at maybe a 3 off of the corner there, but goes a bit wide. The clear doesn't quite go out. The intercept coming through. Dauntless keep their hands on disc.
And Itra is getting stunned though by Ruskin. Leaving some rust in the helmet there of that bot. But back into Mandak's arms and into Satori, who's been a finisher. But H-Low denying that opportunity with the execution on the block. Just saving it nicely. Can they do it again, though? H-Low again from down low. It's Mandak this time learning from the save of yesterminute. And just went for the undershot as the goalies dived out all on him.
Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, if you were to be able to go back and look at this match and prep for it. Use it to prep for the next matchup in this tournament. You're really getting an idea of how much Mandak is a key element in them scoring. I mean, they are constantly putting in these 2 points. They're constantly in that center, in that crossing space for the two, and there's a lot of consistency, I would say, if anything, coming in from Dauntless this afternoon. Whether that's because they have the advantage or not, I'm not sure really quite yet. We'll have to see how they play in their next matchup. But still, they are playing good here this afternoon. As I say that, a missed slap shot goes a touch high there as they continue their attack. Dauntless with a back pass onto Satori. Satori trying to juke around, can't find the two there. The defense weathers the storm, gets a full clear. Maybe they can get an opportunity on goal. Is that actually going to go into goal? No.
Denied by the smallest part of that bubble, that little side post. So meanwhile, some brawls in the sideline denying that stack for Dauntless. So this is going to maybe leave an opportunity for that stack on the opposite end to get the score. And there it is indeed. Just like I said earlier, when you don't have that extra boosting partner like Donda Academy is lacking that fourth, Dauntless taking advantage by breaking that stack. It gave him so much time for that front line to retrieve and get the points.
On track for another potential mercy here this afternoon coming in from the Dauntless squad. Exactly how you'd want to start if you are Dauntless or a Dauntless fan. This is a great way for them to roll out on this tournament. A nice confident booster, if anything, a good loose warm-up, or truly with almost no pressure, dare I say. Coming in onto this Dauntless squad, or a threat at least of them losing. And if anything, they have a potential third round to get played out here. We won't play out that third round if Dauntless locks in this potential mercy, only 5 points away with 4 minutes left.
And they're looking pretty locked in indeed as Ichira's assists Sausage on that. So everyone really getting in on the scoring action here with plenty of points across the board, plenty of assists too. Mandak, as you mentioned, big part of that offense with 14 points, one of the lead finishers here in the game so far. Sausage just behind with 11 points, but everyone with assists across the board, and 5 for Satori. So again, they have the advantage numbers-wise, but fundamentally they're still making the passing plays and finding the right person for the finish.
Really a stellar start for them right now, and to the credit of Donda Academy, they are very much still fighting. There is a good bit of effort coming in here from this team to do their best with the trio that they have. It is just a tough challenge for them as they battle in a brawl and dodging session in the backfield. Ultimately, that gets dunked in for 2, and they're just 3 points away from mercying and locking in their first match of the Challenger Cup and starting their road to potentially the finals.
And you know, there are some teams as well. Now, granted, you obviously don't want it in a Challenger Cup or a real match situation, but there are some teams who do run 3v4 type drills actually in practice and scrims and such, just for the purpose of kind of being practiced in that style of meta and getting used to that lack of extra stack partner, that extra pressure, things like that. Just kind of as a bit of a drill, but obviously not a drill situation here. Missing that, I think just maybe lost the grip, but they'll still maintain. Good bounce pass over to the anchor, and a good save coming in from H-Low. Gets another grab. H-Low has 4 saves now to his name.
A great little stop there. Still stays into the hands of Satori, and I gotta wonder if they're just gonna try and bury the hatchet here with a 3 as that shot comes in. Doesn't quite get the backboard bounce they're looking for, and stays into the hands of Donda Academy. They continue to buy more time for that 4th to potentially show up. And as I say that, the time ends. The match is over. The 20-point mercy gets locked in. Almost in sync with, I guess, spoiler alerts, the other match going on VRML. Another mercy Palador. We have kicked off here with 2 teams, guns blazing. Sai, we're done with match 1 already.
Yeah, and what a match it was. Dauntless taking that second round 20-0, and with how they were playing, They earned it. And you talked about during the round how that was a confidence booster, a good way to start out this tournament. But I'm almost wondering maybe that might hurt them in the long run because they have come out here with this warm up against this 3v4, but they also adapted their playstyle a bit to play that 3v4 to capitalize on those numbers advantages. So I'm wondering, how is that going to impact them going into the next rounds? Are they going to have to adjust themselves once again, or is this just strictly a confidence booster that they're going to take full advantage of? But as for breaking down the actual gameplay, speed was the name of the game here for Dauntless. I mean, I said it last round, and they did it again this round. They had that 3v4 numbers advantage, and they took full advantage of it. All they had to do, and it's what they did, is break up those stacks from Donda Academy. They could only have one maximum, and then they also have those extra 2 players to go chase things down. So even when Donda Academy was getting a couple of clears, which it looked like they did a little bit more this round as they, warmed up to that 3v4, but regardless, Dauntless is just all over the arena with that extra stack. They took full advantage of it. And also, we shouted out Danmac, we shouted out Sasig, but Itriz and Satori running in the midfield in that game. Like I was just talking about, those front people were taking out the Donda Academy players, forcing those bad passes and those bad clears. But Satori and Itriz were so quick to react, shutting down that midfield, putting up so many assists. They had 4 and 5 respectively, 4 for Itriz, 5 for Satori. So just a solid job all around by Dauntless, and I'm hoping that Donda Academy does not let this get to them too badly. Maybe they get their 4th player in and they figure out how to move forward in this cup, because like you said, it's not over. We got a whole day of games to go.
Yeah, we do. I'm just looking at the stats right now as well. 29 stuns from Sasig. I said consistency, and I really feel like the Dauntless squad fell into a good rhythm there, where they sent Sausage out to intercept the duo, and they did well. And then the 3 left worked their way up into the midfield, and ultimately, you have Mandak and Sausage getting the most involved, 14 and 13 respectively there this afternoon. And yeah, we'll have to see how the warm-up goes. We'll have to see how it treats them moving on into future matches, which we can start looking forward to, because again, we do have a outcome from our first match of the afternoon. That was
Typhon and the Biscuiteers there.
Yeah,
over on the Venues channel.
Typhon took the spoilers, if you want to watch it later. Typhon took the 2-0 Mercy, 2 rounds to 0, 19-3 in round, or no, not a Mercy in round 1, but 19-3, and then round 2, 20-0, much like we saw here against Dauntless and Donda Academy. And so that means that we're going to be seeing Dauntless in Typhon match up on VR Master League. We are going to move on to our next round 1 of the bracket. But that won't be for a few more minutes. That's not scheduled to begin, actually, for, I believe, 20 minutes from this time. So if anything, we have a little opportunity for a bit of a pre-show, or a mid-show right now, Paladin, or I don't know what you want to call it, Sai. But
mid-show?
There's plenty of stuff to talk about.
Over in OCE, we tend to call this Echo Overtime.
Okay.
We're just, little podcast among casters, I suppose. But yeah, we have about 20 minutes out until that 45-minute separation on the start times between these matches. On this channel, we will have, let's see. Next will be the Fireballs versus Quackheads. So there's 2 very recognizable names across these seasons for VRML in Europe.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, over on the venue side of things, they will have, Synergy versus the Femboys, it looks like. So you have those matches to look forward to in the next 20 or so. But yeah, over on this end, I mean, we'll have also North American later on today, the North American Challenger Cup, that is. And as you mentioned, we have it carrying over today and then tomorrow. And then, of course, next weekend will be the finals where champions will be declared.
It's so much to get excited about, the finals in particular, because that prize pool is finally on the line, right? These teams have been competing for so long. We've been talking about the sponsors throughout the course of the regular season, and I guess now is as good a time as any to shout out the sponsors that support the league and offer up prize pools in cash and hardware for the season. Those sponsors include HyperX. You're seeing them right here in front of your face with the HyperX Quadcast S, the Alpha Cloud 2, the Alpha Wireless headset that just came out, you can actually get a 20% discount on this very headset with a 300-hour battery life. That's right, 300 hours. You can get this 20% off if you click the link down below in the info section right now, so I recommend you do that. If you do want to get yourself a new headset, I highly recommend all the HyperX products. They have been good to me, and, well, they've been good to your ears for the most part, too, as you are hearing my voice through that mic. But we have a bunch of other sponsors as well. VR Cover, offering fantastic hygiene equipment for any of your VR headsets. I highly recommend you pick up a VR Cover. The face masks are a great enhancer to comfort in any headset, and they will add a significant amount of life onto your playtime. I mean, Pally, you play competitively, right? You need to be able to sit in the headset for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time to really get some good practice in.
Oh yeah, I've been playing to the extreme lately as well, and it, as we all know, Echo, not just an esport, it's the sport, as I like to say, because it is physical, it is sweaty, not just gamer sweaty. I just mean sports sweaty. So yeah, if you have VR Cover, if you don't have VR Cover, you should get one, and just. It's amazing. It's an amazing game to get into because of that physicality. But yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Continue on. We also have some of our merch sponsors on display in front of your face as well. The Arma jerseys right now, worn by myself and the lovely Psychaotic, but also the VRWare merch displayed by the fantastic Palador. We're really showing it off here this afternoon. If you do want to support the VRML and our merch sponsors, I would recommend you check out both Arma.com and VRWare.com. They've got fantastic merch. Ranging from sweatpants to different jersey options, water bottles, everything that you want to get VRML related. You can find it between Arma and VRWare. So check out those sponsors. We also have Kiwi Design, which just recently joined as a sponsor. They offer a wide variety of peripherals from battery packs, face covers to controller covers that do help significantly with gripping the controllers. I mean, again, Pally, we talk about sweat. You don't want to be chucking these things across the room, right?
Yeah, of course. I actually, even independently for months now, I've had a Kiwi head strap too. Very comfortable to replace my old Elite strap that I had from Oculus there.
Oh,
so
there you go.
yeah, absolutely. All the third-party gear, take it seriously. Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. I think that's on Psycho's headset right now.
Yeah, +1 for the
There you
Kiwi head strap. Like, sponsorship aside, I would have died without this thing. I move around a lot in Echo, and having the padding on the back that like cups your head, and then also the padding on the front on the top strap, that's something I looked at when I was getting a head strap. I love this thing so much. And you can strap a battery pack to it, so if you're worried, like, oh, if I get the Kiwi one, I can't get the Elite strap that has the battery, this is super easy to just strap a battery to, and you are all set to go. This got me through Redshift LAN. This has gotten me through my own Challenger Cups. Yeah, it is fantastic.
Well, speaking of too, can we also shout out the fact
Yeah.
that Redshift LAN?
Yes.
So that's a thing coming up in a couple months, on July 29th through 31st at the Wyndham Grand Hotel in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So VRML for the third time now this last year will be proud to sponsor Redshift again, and we'll be casting exclusively all the matches that happen there here on the VRML channels. So for anyone who's not been to LAN, or if you have just as much, get out there. If you can make it to one of these things, get to it. I know on the EU side, they just had the Duckman LAN just last month.
Yep.
So these are awesome events. Saika, I know on your behalf, you just went to the Redshift Champions Series back in January. That was your first Redshift thing, an Echo thing. And I know that was a really enjoyable time.
Yeah, that was such a great time. It was my first LAN experience, period, and to experience it with the Echo community was something else. People over at Annex did such a good job putting it on, bringing the community together, creating both a, social and competitive experience. No matter what you want to go for, there is a place for you there. It's a really good time.
Yeah.
Last but not least...
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Last but not least, we have Asterion, a fantastic sponsor that offers up great RGB mounts. I wonder if I can move mine from its position in front of the camera. Oh, I unplugged it. No, I turned it off. There we go. I pushed the power button. But yeah,
And
it
your
is
green screen consumed
Oh,
it.
green screen. It's green. I'm using green as my color. Sorry, folks.
Nailed it.
Disappear. But it has a wide variety of options of colors that you can change it from, change it to, and in addition, as something that I think has been teased a little bit on by Asterion, we are also going to be having these not engraved, but with a Echo Arena Season 5 champion skin that'll go onto the Asterion mount. So it's going to be an exclusive champion Asterion mount provided for our champions. It can be a very cool additional prize there. On top of all,
cool.
VRML contributes into the prize pool with addition of cash into that cash prize pool, as do a few of our other sponsors. And we really do appreciate everybody that comes together to support the VRML, whether it is our sponsors or you on the Patreon, which is live right now over on VRML, patreon.com/VRML. If you want to support the league and the folks that help put on these great shows, then that is the way to do it over on Patreon or through Twitch with Twitch subscriptions.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have, let's see, another about 12, 13 minutes or so until our next match is scheduled to begin, but we will wind it down and send you back into a pre-show momentarily. But real quick also, just wanted to say hi to the Twitch chat again there.
Yeah.
I saw, let's see, the real Grant talking about casting Rocket League for the last couple of years and Echo Arena not being far off. And I've long said that Echo Arena is just it's a mainstream flagship game just in a kind of temporary niche. It grows as VR grows. And so, yeah, if you're interested in casting at all, I know Aiden, one of our other casters, dropped a link for you there, so you can definitely go apply. But VRML volunteer ran based on the passionate communities within the games itself. The majority of our casters, production crews, moderators, all players of the games that we are involved in before we became involved in VRML. It's a great thing. And as far as Echo itself, definitely not a new thing here in the VR scene. It's been prominent in esports across the last 5 years now. 5-year anniversary coming up, and I've been a part of pretty much all of it and can't stop. So, been a good time, great time, in fact.
Already seeing one interested applicant in Twitch chat. That's great to see. Made me smile when I read that. But yeah, it is community-run, community-led. That's what VRML is all about, and we really do love to just be involved in esports. I mean, we have other leagues that you may know about or have heard of, whether it's with Onward, Pavlov, Snapshot, but we also have a new league coming up with Blast On, a game developed by Resolution Games, who you may know from a popular D&D title called Demio. They're a fantastic studio, very dedicated to the cause, and we're going to be starting Season 1 of Blast On May 16th. So if you do want to check out another league that is literally starting at the end, right at the end of Echo Arena, it'll be a nice little opportunity for you to do something in the off-season if you're looking to kick some time around. So do check that out over on VRML.com if you are potentially interested. You can register right now. And the season will begin really in just a few days at this point, but about a week and a half. So something to look to in the off season if you are interested. But like Pally said, we're just a few minutes away from our matchup, and we will be cutting you into a brief intermission. And when we come back, we should have. Oh, dang it! I forgot already, Palador. Remind me of what our next game is, if you remember.
We will have the Fireballs versus Quackheads here on Channel 2. So, with that, I'm Palador. That's Nightfire casted with me. Psychaotic on the sidelines, who will also be main casting here in the next match. And Wonder T-Man on the cams. So stick around about 9 minutes out or so, and we'll be back with your next match.
Hey, chat.
There are a great many natural wonders in the wildlands of Echo Arena. A place of near zero moderation nature exists unhindered in all of its beauty. Among the more intriguing creatures in this ecosystem is the permagoalie. A naturally timid creature, the permagoalie is born with one dominating instinct: to protect the goal, no matter the cost. Many eco-scientists speculate that the permagoalie evolved from its cousin, the hockey goalie, a creature that has been bred over countless generations to remain close within its blue confines, only exiting when necessary to defend its territory. But while the hockey goalie developed this instinct out of necessity, the reason behind the habits of the eco-permagoalie remain a mystery to much of the scientific community. And yet, here it sits, nature's embarrassing mistake. Without the permagoalie's support, the rest of the herd flounders in the offensive zone, being unable to penetrate the enemy's established defense. The herd's only real chance at a goal is a fast break. If goals cannot be obtained, it is very likely that the herd may not acquire enough rations to survive the harsh winter months. It only takes about 4 points to feed a family of 4 through the winter, but without the permagoalie's support on the hunt, even this milestone might be too optimistic. The family may not survive long enough to reproduce, natural selection doing its work. With the disc in his zone, the permagoalie thrives, following the play and finding himself in the heat of the action, defending their home from intruders. He will prevent the easy 3-point play by his mere presence on occasion, and it is with this that he feels the most satisfaction. This, in his mind, justifies all the sacrifice. What a great opportunity to re-grab with a teammate to pursue and set up an offense. But no, the permagoalie stays in the net, ever fearful of a counter-push. And with his refusal to move, it's only a matter of time until the disc is lost yet again. But the permagoalie cares not, for in his mind, he now feels justified.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Echo Arena VR Master League Challenger Cup for Season 5. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's. I am joined by a lovely host of casters in front of me. Palador to my right. I don't know. It's reverse. Who knows? Chaotic also here on the desk. Welcome, everyone, again, back to the action. We are here for... oh gosh, I'm blanking on the names again. Duckman, no.
Quackheads.
Oh, Quackheads.
Duckman was a land.
Yes,
Close.
I completely help me out here, Pally. Who we got here this afternoon?
Got ourselves some Quackheads versus Fireballs, some age-old teams, some impressive ones at that. Quackheads with Master Tier in their past, and Fireballs looking for Master Tier in their future, potentially.
Yeah, it is all on the line, Psych, for this afternoon. And I mean, today and tomorrow with Challenger Cup action, the 2 teams that end up coming out here move on to the finals. They compete for the prize pool that, with all those prizes that we talked about from our sponsors. The pressure is certainly here this afternoon.
Yeah, the pressure may be here, but these teams are not new to that pressure in dealing with situations like this. I mean, Quackheads, whose lovely mascot is Duckman, that might be where you're getting it from. You know, they've been around for so long, going back on their team page. I mean, they've got stuff from preseason, so they have been here and around Master before. The Fireballs since Season 3, and I do believe they even spent a cycle in Master Tier already this season. So they are looking to get back in there, you know, because you've got to finish in Master at the end of the season if you want to compete for that prize pool.
A lot on the line, and we are just moments away from getting into our first round between these 2 teams. Very exciting stuff. And again, this is just really the midpoint of the afternoon. If anything, we have more games coming at you later today. We will be dipping down into the losers bracket after this. So I think our next matchup will be Biscuiteers versus Donda Academy, who we just saw, or no, is that right? Yeah, Donda Academy, who we just saw lose. And over on the other channel, twitch.tv/VR Master League, we will have the winners bracket live, which is also live right now with Synergy and Femboys. So again, there's the bracket. You can see where the action is going to be. We'll be going down to the losers round, and Synergy and Femboys will be going into the winners bracket. And so a lot of action this afternoon. Action right in front of us, Sai, as we get into the joust and into round one.
And away we go. It is a brawl in the midfield, but it's Middleman coming away with it, firing off that shot that Gracchus has immediately stolen away by VR Zeta. He's going to send this one through. That's going to take a really favorable bounce, but end up out of the bubble before anyone hits a hand on it. But VR Zeta right back to it. Not quite going to be on. Picked up by Hyper. Another cut. VR Zeta once again trying to find the back of the net, but no luck. Gracchus with the recovery, so the Fireballs will keep this possession. This time they're slowing down just a smidge, but that pass a little bit off, bouncing into the hands of Gobshite, and he's going to get this one cleared.
All the way down into the zone of Fireballs. The first time Quackheads have had an opportunity to attack, and nearly sinking in 3 off the backboard. A absolute fire of a shot coming in, but Fireballs are able to deny it. Still, though, Quackheads managed to regain disc control, and now they're setting up for an attack inside Fireball zone, taking their time, making sure everybody's in position, looking for the perfect pass to advance forward.
Yep, and Essex knows this is tied. He knows he can take his sweet time. I mean, look at him doing some moves up on the cloud, trying to draw out that defense, but they will not budge. And there's the opportunity. No good, though, off the goalie's head into the hands of VR Zeta, but not quite cleared out, as that is going to take a funky bounce into the hands of Gobshite. Then VR Zeta picked up once again by Essex. Long 3 opportunity will not be good. It'll bounce all the way out of the bubble, and an attempted slap away that is actually going to be recovered by Hyper, then picked up by Gobshite once again, now into the hands of the boss, and he'll reset so they can try to slow this one down.
Blink and you would have missed quite a bit of action. It is fast-paced here this afternoon between these two teams, and it is action-packed with the brawls and competition for disc as Quackheads again regain possession. The attack coming in as they get inside the zone. Another attempt on the goal, this time off the backboard, and another great save from the defense coming in from Fireballs. Fantastic snag and clear, but still Quackheads maintain possession. They continue their relentless assault, but still remain scoreless. Another save on the backside. There's the intercept. The boss finally gets an opportunity to put it in, but what a great series of defensive saves from Fireballs to nearly keep this 0-0 alive. It's 2-0. Jeez, Sai.
Yeah, I am in physical pain for GB there. I mean, had that fantastic save, then had the immunity coming out of the stun, got the grab, but just barely had it stolen away from him by the boss. But that's okay, because here comes the Fireballs with the joust advantage of their own, looking to move this one down the field. They're going to get shut down rather quickly, though, by the boss, who sends this one off the shield. Down low, the lane is not open, so it's going to be the boss down low, now across over to Essex. Essex trying to drive in, but will get denied by GB once again. Cleared out to the midfield, where it's Hyper with it now. Hyper's going to send this one deep. Where are the stacks? Who will be there first? It will be the boss. And the boss going to clear this one right back through.
First time that disc has been in the zone of Quackhead since the start of the series. Back into the hands of Fireballs, though, and now they're going to try and get it out of their zone with another clear that ends up bouncing around inside the trap. Floats into the hands of Quackheads. Intercepted by GB, and Fireball able to clear it down into the tunnel. There's a good bit of stack and push, a 3-point shot that goes just a touch high. That could have set things up nicely for Fireballs here in round 1, but instead it's Quackhead still leading 2-0 and with dispossession moving through the midfield.
This is such a close game so far. I mean, we are almost at the 6-minute mark, and there's only 1 goal on the board. They're looking to make it 2, though. Not if VR Zeta has something to say about it. He's going to get that stolen away and cleared through. It gets by that Quackhead's defender. It's going to be VR Zeta there first. He'll whip this one across over into the hands of Hyper on the cloud. Here comes pressure. He'll get the pass off over to Gracchus. Gracchus, one more cut, looking for Zeta, but Zeta was not looking for the cut as that bounces high into the hands of GB. Back to Zeta. One more pass to Hyper. Hyper has to get rid of it, though, under some pressure, and that will be a turnover.
Just a touch of miscommunication resulting in a few missed passes. Now ends with Quackheads advancing into Fireball's zone. And, you know, every little tiny mistake ends up getting punished at this sort of level because you really sort of are in a almost faux master tier scenario right now. You know, any of these teams in the Challenger Cup could compete at a master tier level. It's why they're here in the Challenger Cup. And so, you know, you are really seeing 2 teams duking it out, and they're on certainly in great form here this afternoon, as finally the clear comes down from Fireballs, and they're able to get in front of this incredibly aggressive Quackheads offense and defense.
A 2:16 goal time. When is the last time you saw something that high at this level? That is ridiculous and a testament to how close these teams are playing right now. As you said, little mistakes are being forced into turnovers and they are keeping each other accountable, keeping each other even. But here's Middleman in the middle trying to slow this one down up high to Gobshite. That stack for the fireballs on it though, but no good. Oh no, off rim. They'll have another chance. This one not going to work out either. Now into the hands of Hyper. Hyper driving in, and this time they will not be denied. Hyper going to find that two for the fireballs.
Jeez, a roller coaster of a attack on goal as those 2 threes end up missing, but still they get it in. And you know, it almost seemed like I wonder what was happening in the midfield. You know, I wasn't paying attention to where the rest of the defense was. Quackheads had a lot of time to get into the zone and cover for that attack, but ultimately couldn't get there. And now they're going right back on the offense. A shot on goal goes a touch wide back into the hands of Verzadia, and they are going to be able to clear this nicely out to the tunnel, back into Quackhead zone. A great stack comes down, and the 3 goes in. They take it all. They do all the work. They clear it down tunnel. They stack their way down, and they take the 3-point shot. Verzadia puts their team up by 5.
The Fireballs came out in the beginning of this round a bit panicked, playing a bit too quickly than what they could keep up with, but it seems like now they have dialed it back a little bit, they have found their footing, and Quackheads also needs to find it here, or Fireballs are just going to keep going on this run. But for now, it is Middleman in the middle, sending this one up high to Essex. Essex on the ceiling, walking this one forward, looking for that cross to the boss. It connects. Here comes the boss, putting in a boss shot. That will go in for 2 and cut that lead down to only 3.
Yeah, to your point, we've seen Quackheads really, I feel like, mostly on the attack this afternoon so far, at least in our first round here today. And so a 5-point lead, not necessarily something to get comfortable with. You know, just because it's been a low-scoring game doesn't mean things can't explode here in the final 3 minutes of round 1. As the rollout here from Fireballs, very important. They need to get this successfully into the zone of Quackheads and set up their offensive attack. They do get it down into the zone, but the stack in time for Quackheads, and now the turnover. Quackheads getting their opportunity to attack and push down into the zone, and they're able to do that with a nice pass down. The stack is there inside the bubble. They get the disc. Here comes the defense. Fair in time, and they save the shot on goal.
Oh man, whoever received that pass down low in the bubble took just an extra second to read the bounce, find their grip on the wall, and it was a second too much as the Fireball is able to make that save and turn it into an opportunity of their own. Here comes VR Zeta across over to Gracchus. Gracchus under some pressure, looking to get rid of it, but will not find a teammate. Finds the hands of Middleman instead, who is looking for that clear. No good, but Gobshite's there. Here comes the ceiling shot, gonna bounce off the ceiling into the hands of the boss, who has the open lane. You can't give that man those lanes. That will go in for 3 and tie it up at 7.
Wow. We are locked into a even game in 2 minutes left. It doesn't get much better than this right here, Psych. I mean, this is the most pressure-filled moment that we've seen this afternoon so far, as it really comes down to potentially 1 or 2 more offensive pushes for each team, as Fireballs are going to roll out here and try and buy some time. Take this clock down as they have possession and get this so that if they are able to score, it's a little bit less time for Quackheads to rebound. But Quackheads get an intercept, a clear down into the zone. Here's another opportunity for a 2, and another save comes in from the defense. Not quite cleared out all the way, as Gracchus is able to snag it there from the top of the zone. And the rest of this team of Fireballs pushes down for the attack. The 2 goes in. Maybe an opportunity for a 3 there, but still, the lead now secured with just seconds left on the clock, actually about a minute.
The series of plays there from the Fireballs to turn that into points was incredible. The goalie work coming out from the Fireballs has been insane, and then that stack between Zeta, and I didn't see his stack partner, to work it down and get those points. Just incredible work. But here comes Quackheads. They've got 40 seconds. That is certainly plenty of time to get the 2 points on the board that they need. Oh no, but not if you do that. It is in the hands of Gobshite. They will save the possession, as Gobshite gets a beautiful bounce pass off to the boss, but it will not quite connect with Essex at first. It does off the bounce. 20 25 seconds. They need to move quickly. No, no, you can't do that. VR Zeta with the interception. That's all the way down. That's going to be off the shield. Where are they? It is Gracchus. Gracchus going to get stunned out from behind, but in the hands of VR Zeta, that would have been the ice. No good. They are still trying. They want to put the nail in this coffin, but they will not be able to do it with Middleman in the goal. And with 5 seconds left, it looks like Fireballs will be taking round 1.
Just round 1 at that, but Palador, it was an engaging one for sure. We are, well, in store for, I would say, at least a good round 2.
Oh, absolutely. Now, this may be our second match of this stream so far, but this is the first match of the day for these two teams. So kind of like you said, sometimes a match is slow doesn't mean it can't speed up, and I think it was a tale of two halves of that particular round, because the first goal took 2 minutes. About 2:06, I believe, and then 2:16 for the next goal. So only one score for each team in that first entire half. But from there on, the pace picked up, and we saw multiple scores in a row, in just seconds and under a minute. The amount of saves I saw there, incredible. In fact, especially when you look at Fireballs, what they did there in those first 5 minutes, those first 2 goals, there were 5 saves on the board already. They ended up the game with 10 saves, so very consistent, basically, where everyone on the Fireballs had at least 2 saves, GB with 4 of them credited. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, for Quackheads, defensively, a save apiece for Boss and Essex, and then Middleman had a really clutch one. Wasn't credited for it, but we saw it. I passed the eye test, and that's one of the best goalkeepers in EU for multiple years now, so he can do that. But I think now, as we go into the second round, both teams have figured out the pace. They have felt kind of each other's games out, and I'm just interested now in seeing what this one provides. So let's get back to it.
Into the joust we go for round number 2 of Quackheads versus Fireballs. A nice start for Fireballs, but ultimately not the end of this matchup as Quackheads come out with guns blazing. 2-0 lead right out the gate. Their aggressive play style paying off early this time. The saves not coming in to kick things off here for Fireballs. And, that's the difference, really, between Quackheads coming out the gate early and Fireballs taking it down to 2 minutes till the first goal is scored. We'll see how Fireballs rebound as we get into their offensive attempt.
It is going to be GB with the QB. He's trying to lure that stack out, but look, they are not biting. I mean, how many pump fakes did that take? But finally, he will send that one up to Zyda. Now across over to Hyper. Here comes that stack, so he'll go back up across over to Hyper. To Zeta. Zeta across now, looking for Gracchus, not quite going to connect, and that stack is together for the Quackheads, but they don't get to it first. It's actually going to be the Fireballs keeping this possession. Down low now to Gracchus, and this time the turnover will be good. It's Middleman with it, reset to Essex, and then cleared through.
Bounces around in the trap for a moment there, almost scooped up by Fireballs, but ultimately is cleared down, and again, Fireballs get their hands on it. Bouncing back and forth between zones as these stacks fly with great accuracy and speed straight to the disc. And a back pass goes wide. Luckily for them, the boss is there. Hyper almost able to scoop it up. That would have been a big punish coming in for that miss pass. And a nice intercept from GB. The attempted clear as GB is ready to grab it. So is the boss. And we're just really kind of passing back and forth with opposing teams here as they just try and get the opportunity to set up on the offense.
Yeah, they're trying to get the opportunity, but neither team is willing to give it to the other, as finally this could be one. As I say that, Caster's Curse will strike. Zyda going to strike in the bubble for the first 2 for the Fireballs.
Tied up here in our second round, but plenty of time left. And, well, like Palador said, that round 1 very well could have been a warm-up because things are definitely a bit quicker here. In what was, I think our second point was scored in 30 seconds from now. We are into things a bit faster here as the Quackheads try and set up for the attack, and a great intercept from Zadia. They've been a key element in this Fireballs team playing well this afternoon as they have several points on the board, and they're going to try and put up another one as they float just a bit past the disc, and that disc goes into the hands of Gobshite, who's able to clear it all the way down into the zone of Fireballs.
But bounces out before anyone can get to it. And oh no, we have a
Oh.
drop from the Quackheads. This is a rare power play here for the Fireballs as Essex is no longer in the arena. Let's see if they can capitalize. It's Gracchus, a cut attempt to GB, but I don't think he was quite looking for it. It'll be slapped away by the middleman for just a second, then slapped again by Gracchus right into the hands of the boss. The boss will get this one cleared. That is a nice bounce off the backboard into the bubble of the Fireballs. It's going to be a race, but Hyper wins it, and Hyper gets this one cleared to the mid. Not through, but to.
I absolutely put on the caster curse here because now we are into a 4v3, but it doesn't seem to be impacting Quackheads too much, although they are obviously under siege on their offensive attempt here. They are still going on the offense. And just like Palador said, I think in our extra overtime discussion, teams practice 4v3s. There's a reason, because you very well could find yourself with a disconnect at any point, even when you're in the Challenger Cup, and you need to be ready to be able to play 4v3. It looks to me that Quackheads are able to play 4v3, or at the very least weather this storm until hopefully their fourth can reconnect. As right now, they go back onto the defense, getting quickly back into the goal zone, and missed that pass attempt, keeps Quackheads in this.
Yeah, Quackhead's still in this, and Essex in the Twitch chat to inform us he crashed. Dude, get back in there, as that is now cleared to the Quackhead's zone. It's going to be picked up by the boss, and here we go. They have their fourth player back in. It is still tied at 2 apiece, about halfway through this round. This one's going to be picked up by Zyda, immediately stolen away by the boss. Here comes the long shot attempt, going to go just a little bit wide, and recovered here by GB for the Fireballs.
Wow. It is an absolute brawl here this afternoon, and finally, the fourth man team of Quackheads in full force here as they begin their push down into the Fireball's zone. Fireball is able to pick up that rebound, but there's a great intercept coming in from Gobshite, quickly stunned out, and Hyper able to clear that down into the midfield, though. And again, we keep ping-ponging back and forth between zones as these clears are not able to really result in any offensive plays for either team.
Yeah, nothing yet. I mean, we are under the halfway mark. I'm sorry, just past the halfway mark, and there are 2 goals total on the board, both of them having been 2s. So these teams so even, but the Quackheads need to find a way to get some points on the board. They need this round 2 if they want to send it to a round 3, or else they are looking at the losers bracket. But we'll see as Gracchus tries to send this one back. Reset no good. The boss gonna fire this one off. Oh, Gobshite in the area, but not quite looking for it. It means it'll be GB with it now, clearing it through. This could be a chance for the Fireballs if they can get there first. It is Zyda with what an angle from Zyda for the 3. My goodness, that will put the Fireballs up 5-2.
I'm really throwing around caster curses left and right, because now we are that was a 3-minute and 20-second time between goals. Right as I said, things were picking up. We get the longest time between goal we've had all series. It is a 3 though, and now the Fireballs are technically 1 goal up, and a battle for that disc space. The shot here goes just a touch wide. They've had a couple of long-range attempts that could have maybe resulted in 3s if they were just a little bit closer. Either way, Quackhead's able to get their hands back on the disc, and maybe an opportunity to attack, as I say that floats back into VRZadia's hands, and they are able to get it. No, not into the midfield, right into the hands of Boss, however.
Boss now cross over to Gob on the trap. Gob playing patiently, slowing this one down, going over to the middleman. I think that is what Quackheads need right now. It has been a lot of fast-paced interceptions and steals and 1v. Just slow it down. That is what Quackheads does best, as Gob now looks across over to the boss. The boss, one more cut. Oh no, Essex being forced to block there, so he could not receive that pass. But Quackheads will keep the possession, not for long. Hyper with another interception and another clear through.
Oh, bad
coming
bounce.
right on back. What a bounce into the hands of GB. Now Hyper across over to VRZada.
Bad bounce, good bounce. It's all, I guess, a point of frame of reference. But either way, it bounces into Fireball's hands, and they're able to clear it down into the zone for Quackheads. They do have one ready and waiting inside the goal, though, and so for a moment there, it was looking like it could be cleared out. A big intercept does finally get it cleared out, and Quackheads, can they get down in time before Fireball's able to get that disc? They're right there, and yes, Gobshite's able to get it, but stunned out right as they put their hands on it. And we continue to ping-pong back and forth. An open goal 3 opportunity here. That gets sunk in, and the lead from Fireballs gets a little bit bigger.
That was a huge 3 for the Fireballs. And here we go. Here is the timeout. I don't even have the Spark open, but I would assume it was Quackheads taking that one. And very smart to take it now because they are looking at a 6-point difference right now. So, technically only 2 threes, and with 2 minutes left to go, that is plenty of time to get it done. They even have time for the route of 3 twos if they so choose. But, I mean, we talked about it earlier, the goal times that have been going on in this game, 2 minutes and 16 seconds, over 3 minutes.
Crazy.
They have to get points quickly. We don't have time for them to keep playing like that. They need to find a way to overcome that lead here and now, or, it's over for this game. But, Pally, I mean, quick check-in with you. What are you seeing?
Well, very interesting pace, as Knight mentioned, for one. It's been all over the place here. Fortunately, now, I was thinking a couple minutes ago that the turning point of that match, that might have been when Quackheads had the crash, and I thought, man, they held out for nearly 2 minutes without Essex, which is almost unheard of in those 3v4 situations. You do not see that very often. So I was pretty assured that, okay, I think that's got to be damaging to the momentum of Fireballs, and I think Quackheads now, this is where they're going to take control, but unfortunately just was not the case. It started with that beautiful angled shot from that corner slice, that 3-point shot from VR Zeta, and just kept on going from there. So a wise timeout certainly taken by them. And again, these are two teams with a lot of VRML history as well, because Quackheads with former master tier play and Fireballs have been working their way there. I remember casting the Fireballs last season towards the end and the Challenger Cups and things like that, and how much they impressed. They had that 13-10 record last season, kind of working their way up the ranks. This season, they were at 11-14, but they finished the #1 seed. The average competition brought it to them much stronger, and they played so many matches here, 25 of them, in fact. So, Fireballs 2 seasons in a row, kind of coming in as the team who's not quite there to master, but they are trying to make a push. And today is the day to do it, if any time else, in the second to final weekend of this season.
Yeah, I mean, this is, for some teams, their last week of Season 5. They are staring at elimination today if they end up going into the loser's bracket and losing. And so no team wants to go down there. They very much want to continue their season push and continue on into that master tier for a chance at that prize pool, continuing on into that postseason tournament next weekend. There's a lot to be looking forward to now, and a lot to be afraid of losing. An opportunity for Quackheads goes missed as that stack goes just past the disc. Quackheads are able to get their hands back on it, though, and they're going to continue their assault on the goal. We've seen great defense come in so far from this team. Will it continue onward? It seems so, as that disrupted pass ends up with an intercept from Hyper.
Yeah, the intercept from Hyper and the clear on through that's bouncing down low to the floor, but it looks like no one getting a hand on it just yet. Then Gobshite attempted clear right back into the hands of Hyper. He's going to fire that one down low to GB. GB with the bounce shot. Oh, just barely off the ring. Best goalie NA and EU, apparently, as this is now bouncing around in the midfield, picked up by the middleman and sent through the middle. It's going to be the boss plays. Open lane. There's the shot. Oh, no, they really needed that one as that goes just a little bit high.
That open goal 3 would have set the pace, set up the opportunity for this Quackheads team to then go out and aggress on defense and get their 2 points. But the clock is ticking down. There's only 30 seconds left now. They are very close to running out of mathematical time to lock in a opportunity even tying this. And it is looking like Fireballs are going to be able to take this round with a fantastic save to lock in Round 2W and the series here, but Fireballs, that's it. 8-2, Round 2W. I mean, what a series to get things going here in the second half, or I suppose the middle portion of our matchups today. It's got me excited about what we're looking forward to here, because Quackheads are going into that loser's bracket, Palador.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy day. Best part of the season easily, and the most stressful part certainly for these teams. But impressive as ever from the Fireballs. Again, I've been impressed for 5 seasons now by the Quackheads and how consistent they've been able to be there, at or near that top master level for so long. But Fireballs, they've got a fire in their belly. They are showing that they're hungry, and it shows in the stats. Because the thing is, you look at what they're able to do here. And both teams, I mean, possession time was nearly equal. The shot attempts was nearly equal, 20-19. So in terms of disc control and things like that, both teams got their equal share. The difference was just the defense, especially those saves. I mean, what 71% of the saves, 17-7, going favor of Fireballs, and that was quite literally the biggest difference maker in what otherwise was a very even matchup, kind of a tug of war between the two. It's just slightly more aggressive and better handles there from the side of Fireballs. But as you mentioned, Quackheads, they still have chances to come back in the lower bracket, so we'll be staying tuned to that as well to see what happens on that end. Exciting times.
Yeah, it certainly is. Speaking of time, we have a bit of time before we get to our next match, so it does give us an opportunity to look forward at our future bracket and the games to come. If we could take a look here, you'll see that we will be heading into the losers bracket. The winners here, Fireballs, will be advancing forward. Quackheads will be going down to compete against the loser of the matchup over on twitch.tv/VR Master League, also on YouTube, Facebook, and Horizon venues. The loser there was Synergy. Spoiler alert. I guess the spoiler alert was a bit late.
Really?
Sorry about it. But yes, Synergy lost in 2 rounds, 11-10 and 11-6. So another very good matchup. If you missed that one, I recommend going and catching the VOD. But either way, Synergy will be going down in the losers bracket. So what we have ahead of us is, oh gosh, Palador, do you remember our Donda Academy versus who?
Biscuiteers.
Biscuiteers coming up next on this channel. But then after that, to kind of wrap up what has been a pretty interesting EU Challenger Cup, Quackheads versus Synergy. I mean, looking forward to that, aren't we? That's going to be a very exciting matchup. I would say much like this one that we just had here.
Yeah, I mean, that one's going to be huge. Congratulations to the Femboys for taking that match, because Synergy is the number 2 seed. And what does that mean? They are one of the current Master teams that are fighting to stay in Master and not get relegated. And the Femboys coming in at seed number 7 to take that game off of them, that is huge. Wow. And that is huge. I'm sure they are on fire right now, momentum-wise, confidence-wise, and I'm super excited to see how that plays into how they play against the Fireballs. And I'm also excited to see how that affects Synergy as they go into that Quackheads game in the bottom bracket. I mean, coming off a loss like that, they are out for blood. They do not want to get relegated. So both of those games are going to be incredible.
It's one of those things where in these cups too, right? It's not just, unlike the regular season of VRML when you're playing your weekly matches, a couple, 2 or 3 per week, or just 2 for the Masters, but it's you can afford your bad loss and kind of move on to the next one. Hours later, days later, whatever the case is, there's always a next time. There's no next time anymore, and on top of that, you take a tough loss, you're still back in the arena again within the hour or so. So it's not just about the isolated game. There's a meta game to it in terms of emotions, mentality, endurance, stuff like that, and that's why these cups are so intense, but so full of hype.
And you talk about, staying loose as a key element too, right? I mean, there's breaks now between these games. Palador, from your experience, have they scheduled scrims in between these matchups, or are they going to take that 25 minutes and rest?
See, okay, that's a funny question that's hard to answer, because I've seen both sides. When there's no breaks, there's people who will kind of cite the fact that, well, we were tired by the time we got to this match, and it affected our gameplay. I've seen it the opposite way, where teams, because of stream schedules and whatnot, do have 30 minutes or an hour off, and then they say, well, we didn't get to stay warm, so we went into our match cold. So no matter what, if there's time, if there's no time, I think it's very individual to the team, that is. Different teams, different strategies, different mentalities of break versus keep going, staying hot versus cooling off, or just the difference between that. I think end of the day, it'll depend on each team. Some of them probably are, if maybe not doing full-on scrims, but are probably doing shooting drills or stacking drills. Others maybe just taking out the headset, getting a snack, getting in a quick power nap. That was my strategy back at the ESL lands when I went up. Pally naps were a thing. I'd play a match, I go into some corner of the stadium or the arena or whatever, and I would get some shut eye for 20, 30 minutes before the next one. So it's going to be different. I don't know about you, Sai, but that's me.
Yeah, I was about to say I can't imagine doing that. Like,
Yeah,
you know, when
so
when I've
much
played in a tournament like this, or when
adrenaline.
you know we had a lot of scrims or a lot of games, double headers, triple headers, whatever. Like, I don't notice that I'm tired until I'm done, and then it's just a giant crash right at the end. But as long as I've got
Yeah.
that adrenaline going, I'm like, okay, go, go, go. Oh, we've got no matches. Let's go pub. Speaking of, could you? I mean, I would imagine, you know, maybe some shooting drills. I don't know what they're up to, but I would think it's a combination of both. Since all of these teams are busy right now, it is hard to schedule a real, you know, scrim to stay warm. So maybe what they're doing is a little bit of both, taking a quick break, and then they get back in the headset. And I would feel bad for anyone pubbing right now that has to run across these juggernauts of teams pubbing together to stay warm.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about fun at the end of the day, and so hopefully those teams can have some fun while they stay
Yeah.
loose. But either way, we do appreciate everybody that has been stopping by and has been hanging out with us this afternoon for the games. Like we've said, we have more coming up, but for now, we are going to cut to a very brief intermission. When we come back, it will be Donda Academy versus the Biscuiteers, and following that, Quackheads versus we were just Synergy. So be sure to tune in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. More Echo Arena Challenger Cup EU in just a few moments.
Hey, chat.
There are a great many natural wonders in the wildlands of Echo Arena. A place of near zero moderation, nature exists unhindered in all of its beauty. Among the more intriguing creatures in this ecosystem is the Permagoli. A naturally timid creature, the Permagoli is born with one dominating instinct: to protect the goal, no matter the cost. Many eco scientists speculate that the Permagoli evolved from its cousin, the Hockey Goalie, a creature that has been bred over countless generations to remain close within its blue confines, only exiting when necessary to defend its territory. But while the Hockey Goalie developed this instinct out of necessity, the reason behind the habits of the Echo Permagoli remain a mystery to much of the scientific community. And yet, here it sits, nature's embarrassing mistake. Without the Permagoli's support, the rest of the herd flounders in the offensive zone, being unable to penetrate the enemy's established defense. The herd's only real chance at a goal is a fast break. If goals cannot be obtained, it is very likely that the herd may not acquire enough rations to survive the harsh winter months. It only takes about 4 points to feed a family of 4 through the winter, but without the Permagoli's support on the hunt, even this milestone might be too optimistic. The family may not survive long enough to reproduce, natural selection doing its work. With the disc in his zone, the Permagoli thrives, following the play and finding himself in the heat of the action, defending their home from intruders. He will prevent the easy 3-point play by his mere presence on occasion, and it is with this that he feels the most satisfaction. This, in his mind, justifies all the sacrifice. What a great opportunity to re-grab with a teammate to pursue and set up an offense. But no, the Permagoli stays in the net, ever fearful of a counter-push. And with his refusal to move, it's only a matter of time until the disc is lost yet again. But the Permagoli cares not, for in his mind, he now feels justified for his decision. For if he had pushed, surely the goal would now be exposed. No, the goal remains safe under his tender watch. In this instance, the family has attempted to entice the Permagoli away from the goal with promises of fewer scoring chances if they can control the disc. But in the end, they only leave frustrated. The Permagoli is stubborn and has detrimental deep-set beliefs that can be hard to sway. But look, this young Permagoli has been left alone in his goal for a long time. It's been nearly a minute since there was any dangerous activity near the bubble. Permagolis are usually not prone to fits of inquisitiveness, but even the most mature Permagoli cannot suppress their curiosity forever. He moves up to nest, just breaking the plane of the 3-point bubble, and peers out towards the rest of the arena. The action out there certainly looks thrilling, but he cannot risk leaving the goal undefended. He makes a move towards Bowtie, uncertainly, but is spooked by the sudden clearing of the disc. Hastily, he makes his retreat back to the goal. There should be no easy threes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Palador. Welcome back to VR Master League. We are back, and we are ready for the lower bracket this time. So it's all or nothing, rest assured. And yeah, all the marbles. Needless to say, the highest pressure situations here, and we got Donda Academy back on Channel 2. Now we're also visiting with Biscuiteers, and I'm excited for this one. Obviously, the tension's going to be high. What do you think of this matchup, Saika? First of all, I'm glad to see we have full 4, by the way, over on Donda.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was going to talk about. You know, we saw Donda Academy play this morning or evening, wherever you're watching from, against Dauntless, but they only had 3. But it seems like now they have found their 4th. So this is anyone's game. The Biscuiteers coming in after losing to Typhon, the #1 seed. So hopefully they didn't let that get to them too much, and they are ready to play against Donda Academy for this all or nothing game.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you
then,
talk.
Nightfire. Oh, sorry, I was just going to say Nightfire joining us on the sidelines now.
Well, not for that long, as it seems the rounds are about to begin. But momentum's a big thing here, and both of these teams getting an opportunity to reset that momentum when they need to, because like you said, Pally, it's all on the line. As we get into it, I'll leave it to you two.
Okay, thank you, Nightfire. Again, Wonder Team Man on the cams, and it's not a wonder it's a Challenger Cup. And this is all or nothing once more. So the first possession, neutral, eventually going to Skag over on Donda. Back to Ruskin down the back pass. The defense playing some aggression up here in the midline, at least one of the defenders, but the pass is working their way through. And over to Skag on possession. They're just trying to find their positioning here, it looks like.
Yep, they are trying to, and now going to take that reset back to Ruskin on the back line. Ruskin firing this one forward, looking for Memento, but finds the hands of VO Violet instead. They are not quite able to find the clear just yet, though, bouncing off the station into the hands of Oculus GJL. Now this one's cleared forward. The dribble looks like it's going to be good. Oculus with it, maybe a one-on-one scenario here with the goalie, but he will get shut down by H-Low.
Yeah, shut down now, restart. Let's see if they can get down in a quick start, and they'll have the first goal maybe, but no, an overshoot from both of the stacks. Beautiful defensive play nonetheless coming in. Now they got to translate it to the offense. They've got Skag up high, off the backboard, into the pocket, drops it, first 3 points.
Oh my, what placement on that bounce shot. I mean, you could tell that he was taking an extra second to line that one up because that was a beautiful top pocket above the goalie's hands and they did not see it coming. So, I mean, Donda Academy off to a solid start here, but let's see how the Biscuiteers can answer back with their first joust advantage of this game. It is VO Violet with it, over across now to Garlic Bread King. You know I love that name, but that's going to bounce up high into the hands of H-Low. And H-Low going to walk this one forward before sending it through. Oh no, not quite through. Where are the stacks? This is an opportunity here for the Biscuiteers. Long 3 from the king himself. Garlic Bread going to get them on the board.
Yeah, Garlic Bread King, have it your way, he says. That's the slogan, right? Well, there's not slow going so far. That is 3 points, 1 for one team, 1 for the other.
Yep, excellent work there by the Biscuiteers. I mean, they saw that opportunity and they were very quick to pounce. They certainly earned it. But now it's Donda Academy coming out of the tubes. Memento Mori up to Skag. Skag over to Ruskin on the bow tie. Throwing this one down. Back to Memento, but he does not see that stack coming. Here is Oculus with it now. Oculus eyeing up that clear. It does get by the Donda Academy defender as it bounces through. Long 3 attempt, not going to be on though. Immediately picked up by Memento Mori.
Good communication there from the stack to get back, and now boosting forward it goes. A little overshoot once more, but they redirect nicely. Skag with the disc and sending it over to Bowtie. Miscommunication, though, was cutting instead of the anchor, but just a pass directly to Ruskin. Turnover. Now back to Skag. Skag to the boot, but good coverage on said boot. Picked up, reset, and back to it again as the defense continues to press, but maybe too far out. The pass little off and snagged quickly before tagged with a stun off the Geo into the goal. It's Skag putting him up 5-3.
Great shot by Skag, and unfortunate for the goalie who was stunned out, not quite able to get their hands up there to stop it. But, you know, that said, points are points. Donda Academy going to secure 2 more of them. But let's see how the Biscuiteers can answer back off of that one. They have been putting up such a solid performance on defense so far. They just have not been able to get those clears all the way through. So now that they're starting with the possession, look at how well they are working this one down the arena. Here's Oculus under pressure, gets the reset off, but the stack was waiting for that pass. They'll keep it anyways. That's it sent up to Oculus into the hands of Ruskin, though, and he will get this one cleared through.
Really nice stacking there defensively from Donda to cause a turnover. So precise with it, but really good grab from Project Rich T down the floor. Maybe they'll get themselves a rich 3, but mishandling the disc. Instead, now Ruskin takes it over, unable to get the clear as it bounces through the trap, but they'll get another attempt at it as Memento sends it down. Meanwhile, that defensive stack will recover a little outside the reach, though, and just barely fingertips it before sending it through tunnel. So some back and forth play now and just seeking out the control, and another turnover.
Another turnover, another clear. This one from Skag as that gets sent through, but immediately picked up by the Garlic Bread King. However, Skag on his toes to almost force the turnover. It is actually going to be the Biscuiteers getting this one cleared through, but that backstack from Donda Academy is playing so smart. They are waiting for those clears as the front stack forces them, and then they're scooping them up quickly and then turning them around for opportunities like these. Skag with the long 3 from 10 meters out will extend this lead now 8-3.
So smoothly executed on that one from Donda Academy. The dribble play, we saw one earlier from the Biscuiteers that resulted in a save against them, but that's one of the more unique factors, I suppose, over the years you see more in Europe. Now, of course, other regions do the dribble plays and clear and boost type thing as well, but I'd say really a lot of that started with Europe, where so many teams got so proficient with that kind of move up the floor. You see it again. There's the clear, there's the boost. They recover, they score. They're within 3 via Violet this time, saying, oh me, oh my, it's mine.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite things to talk about is, you know, the difference between NA and EU meta, and you hit it on the head. EU gets a lot of clear and boost going because their pings are lower. Everybody is so much more central together, and with that lower ping, you know as well as I do, you can stack faster. So hey, if you can do that best, go ahead, develop the meta around it. It has certainly worked for them. And maybe this one will work for the Biscuiteers as it is picked up by Oculus on the floor. And Oculus just gonna slow this one down a little bit. Gonna go across now, over into the hands of VO Violet. Violet, we're looking for Garlic Bread King. One more cut attempt will not quite work. Not at first, at least. It looks like they will keep the possession. It is Project Rich over now. Crossing again to Oculus, but picked off by Ruskin, sent all the way through. Where are the stacks? Here it is, the one on none. Oh no, the goalies are home, but he's gonna find the points anyway. It's Skag.
And such a difficult place to defend from that backboard, for sure, that clock, as many call it. But it seems like, I guess appropriately, when you're on the clock, it is only a matter of time before the goal goes in most of the time, because it just offers you so many different moves, whether juking or passing back to a cutter from the front. It's so hard to defend. And nonetheless, back on the offense here, Biscuiteers lower seeded and much more than maybe the seedings indicate on the actual cup. We had to pull them down from a few ranks in. They're still hanging in there. It's still a close game, and they're doing very well for themselves.
Yeah, they most certainly are. They are putting up one heck of a performance. But here comes Donda Academy. Skag firing this one off. Oh my goodness. 2 players in goal, and he still manages to thread the needle to find that 3 and up the lead 13-5. So 3 minutes remaining, you know, down by 8. It is certainly doable for the Biscuiteers, but they have got to find a way to stop Donda Academy in their tracks and go on a points run of their own. Let's see if they're able to do it, as this is Violet over across now to Project Rich T. Across once again. Oh no, looked like it was looking for the Garlic Bread King, but it finds the hands of Ruskin instead.
Ruskin being patient with it. We're seeing the full force here of Donda Academy and what they're able to do now that they have their full roster. They did not start out the Challenger Cup that way in the first stream, but now they're fighting for their lives, and they are definitely looking alive as ever. That said, getting stunned and left in the dust for a moment as a turnover caused by Biscuiteers. Now it's a race for the stacks for the disc. There's the pass and doesn't miss. Garlic bread. Finger looking good. That's the slogan, right?
I don't know if it's the right one, but it most certainly is a slogan. But yeah, Garlic Bread King. Garlic Bread King going to find those 2 points and get them back within 6. And with 2 minutes remaining, I mean, hey, that is a mere 2 3-pointers. I know they can do it, but let's see if they can, as it is now in the hands of Skag. Skag going down low for that stack that's waiting, but not quite going to connect. That's a turnover. Garlic Bread King looking for the send through, but no, it's going to be a stun battle instead. Skag coming away with it. He'll send this one across now over to H Low. H Low nice. Not able to get low as he gets shut down by that backstack.
And down the floor, what a beautiful defensive play. That's an open goal. They got the walk in. And now we're talking 13-9, bringing it ever the more close. Biscuiteers.
I cannot say enough about this Biscuiteers team right now. I mean, as you alluded to, the Biscuiteers were pulled in from a little bit lower than what the Challenger Cup rankings normally are, but they are putting up such a fight right here. It is within 4, a minute left. They can do it. And Memento Mori up to Skag. Skag gonna send this one up into the hands of Ruskin, and Ruskin not able to find the 3. That might have been the ice, but not yet. It's not over quite yet. Ruskin with it once again, backing this one out of the bubble, looking for Memento Mori, but Project Richie had the read, got the stun on the recipient, but it gets to Skag anyway. Skag trying once again to find Memento right under the nest, but that won't work either. He will come away with it and get this one sent over to Skag. Skag coming into the bubble, juking around some, but losing the hand on it and cleared away by Violet.
Oh, but nice backline play by Ruskin, and now they feel victory just at the ready in the next few seconds. Maybe the time is running out, but still some time for at least a goal here, and maybe some momentum. There's the boost. Can they get the momentum boost is the question. They get the disc, which was loose, but no one on the other side to pick it up. Now grab right back. One more opportunity perhaps for either team to score, but first round looks like will be indeed in store for Donda Academy back full force. And a nice steal just to end it off there. Nice save off the backboard. Nightfire. What a round that was. I'm impressed by both sides now. We got to see the full potential of Donda, and now Biscuiteers, lower seeded team. They still competed. How about it?
Yeah, I think maybe a bit surprising to a couple of folks tuning in here this afternoon just how well Biscuiteers is playing this afternoon, because like you said, they are much lower seeded. There's been a couple of teams that couldn't attend or didn't necessarily qualify, didn't have enough players, whatever the scenario was. Ultimately, Biscuiteers were next in line, and right now I think they're stepping up to the call to action, so to speak, right? I mean, when it comes down to the Challenger Cup, and when your season is on the line and you get an opportunity like the Biscuiteers have gotten, you really just have to kind of amplify your gameplay greater than you normally do in regular season. And I really do think Biscuiteers are doing that here this afternoon. We've seen some great plays come in from them. We saw an attempted great play just at the end of that round that ended up in a missed pass. And we've also seen a few mistakes come through and ultimately get punished by Donda Academy, who, like you said, Pal, is in full force. They've got all 4 here, active and ready to go. I was wondering just how ready they would be, since they didn't have that opportunity to play as 4 together in their first matchup of the day. But they're looking like they don't want to give up just yet. We obviously have a few more rounds left ahead of us, potentially just one, unless Biscuiteers can come out with a W as we get into round 2.
All right, thank you, Nightfire. And this Biscuiteers team, I mean, they won 16 games, 9 losses, but they will lose that one off the head, unfortunately. Shot by, I believe, Memento, but it went off Violet into that goal for the 6-second 2-point lead.
6 seconds. Oh my goodness. Donda Academy wasting no time getting on the board. They want this game over and done with in 2 rounds. But let's see if the Biscuiteers have something to say about it, as that pass goes to Garlic Bread King, now into the hands of Project Rich Tea. He flings this one forward, but nobody quite in the area. That will be a turnover for Ruskin, who's going to get this cleared through the far side tunnel. Stacks are together. It's a race. Memento getting there first, but getting stunned out. Garlic Bread King with it now, looking across, but it's going to overshoot the stack just a bit. Another turnover, another clear away.
And you see how that double stack comes into play really for both sides. Even on the missed passes, because the stacks are always linked up somewhere on the floor, that second stack for each team. Even the missed passes, they still are able to recover because they're so good at keeping their chains unbroken and constantly near enough to each other, even when they do get broken. The pass here, play not unbroken, but the goal sure is without pockets. It's 2-2, Project Rich Tea, and that was some sweet team play from the Biscuiteers.
Some great team play. I mean, I've always been a fan of passing around the bubble, even to, almost to the point of unnecessarily, because when you can make the defense's head spin, you can create those open goals and almost guarantee your points. But now it is Ruskin sending this one over to Memento Mori. Mori to Skag. Skag going up high, back to Ruskin. Ruskin now looking for H low. He's under some pressure, so he sends it right on back to Ruskin. And Ruskin going to slow this one down at the cloud. They are tied up, so technically no one has to push. But Ruskin draws out that defender anyway before sending it to Hlo. Hlo getting the duck on one, the shot on the other. There it is. Top of the goal means that's points for Donda Academy.
H-Low showing the halo there and saying hello to the goalkeeper as he sends it above the head. You love to see it. Just again, the placement on a lot of these shots, they've been for both teams, one pocket or the other. And that's kind of a rock paper scissors game in itself. One of the interesting things I've noticed like over time is even quote unquote center pockets, which I know is oxymoron, get used more because people have gotten so good and frequent with the pockets. Now goalies expect that too sometimes. But thus far, working out for both sides with a nice placement.
Yeah, indeed. And oh, H-Low almost with some nice placement there, but it will go a little bit wide. Back into the hands of Memento Mori, so Donda keeps this possession. Now in the hands of Skag. Skag trying to rip that shot, but Oculus said, don't try that on me. Almost gets the clear. Not quite good the first time, but it is the second time that will go through, but right into the hands of Memento Mori, who fires it right on back into the Biscuiteers bubble.
Ooh.
But all 4 players home in time. The clear not quite going to go out. It's going to be into the hands of Skag now on the floor. Skag backing this one out, drawing out Project Rich T before going up across to the popcorn area into the hands of H-Low, who turns this one around for a shot, but VO Violet is there for the pickup.
And through midfield, the first stack actually getting split up, it looks like, for Donda. So they're not able to wrangle the disc. Both stacks, in fact, just having trouble with it, but they've still managed to get there a little quicker. Now breaking off, taken back by Garlic Bread King. Now all 4 players back around the bubble vicinity, trying to find their stacks, of course. Unfortunately, off course was the clear. So it will be, again, just more bubble contesting and trying to search and vie for that control. A lot of quick flings, eventually gets it back to Donda on offense, and now the retreat coming back into the bubble for Biscuiteers.
Yeah, but if they retreat, they give H-Low a ton of space to work with on the floor. A high bounce pass to Memento. That was almost beautiful, but not quite on as Project Rich G gets this one cleared to the mid, where Ruskin is waiting. Pass over to Mori. Open goal. Garlic Bread finds himself in the lane regardless. It is another try here for Donda Academy, but the double stun leads to a turnover for Oculus.
What a big save. That looked like a near guaranteed goal, but just swooped in with a nice reach. And now if they can reach for their stacks, that's the one thing. There it is. The grab, the punch, though, dislodged, but into the perfect place. Project T sending it off to that left lane, but unfortunately could not find the teammate there. Now will be Oculus dealing with that 2v1 brawl. So loses the disc, and out they go on the stacks. Maybe an open goal about to be had, but fast on the approach. 2 defenders in it, but it's a 3-on-2, but no 2 points. And that is right outside the bubble once more. Opportunity momentarily lost as they'll reset towards that mid.
And that Donda Academy player opting for the impossible angle despite having 2 people on shield. And oh, it looks like that drive isn't going to work out either. It's going to be a race. Ruskin there first, though, for the side of Donda Academy. The pass up to Skag. Skag looking for that shot, but Violet said not today. They're going to get this one cleared out to the mid, where Project Rich T assists it a little bit in getting on through. It's going to be yet another race here. Who will be there first? It looks like Violet flinging this one forward. The stack's nowhere to be found, but Project Rich T is there first. Project Rich T looking to set up this opportunity, looking to get this one sent across over to Oculus, but Oculus under pressure at a low angle, just kind of flings this one away, and it leads to a turnover.
And maybe just a slight delay, a slight lack of comms there as a take back just misses everything there. Trying to go for an anchor, but sometimes those power shots will sail through like that. From Biscuiteers back on defense, though. On the offense will be Skag completing the play. And that could be a momentum shifter because we've been stuck there for 3.5 minutes at 4-2. Now 6-2. Just to finish that thought, on the other side, I think Biscuiteers, they had a cut when they retrieved that disc, but it looked like whoever had gotten the disc, we do get a timeout, so perfect. They had an opportunity to hit potential barrier passes or cuts, but it just didn't come quick enough, and it allowed the defense from Donda to actually get back. So they kind of turned what was an open goal into eating 2 points opposite way, and that's the momentum shift I'm talking about, which is probably why they took that timeout.
Or maybe not. Actually, no. There's a player gone. It's Project Rich T no longer in the arena. No, wait, he switched over. So actually, it's Donda Academy missing somebody. But yeah, enough for me. Nightfire, break it down for us. What needs to happen in these last 4 minutes if Biscuiteers wants to stay in it?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think this timeout is certainly a good start to trying to reset your efforts, right? I mean, there's still a lot of time. Nearly half of this round on the clock here, with 4 minutes left for them to attack this team. They've had good attempts and they've had good setups. That play where they executed their 2 points that they have now was very clear to me, practiced and rehearsed. It was a nice floor play that they had set up in advance, that they knew they were going to go for. If they can come out here on their offensive joust with a play much like that one, I think that's going to be sort of the key step one to their maybe bounce back here. I think if anything, this timeout that technically Donda Academy has taken, very much also for a technical reason, is going to potentially sway things into their opponent's favor, and so not necessarily an ideal time to have to pause and maybe reset a headset, do some, fix some sort of technical issue. I'd hopefully not run out of charge on the headset. That certainly would be the worst case. But either way, it is Donda who have taken this break, and for Donda, they just have to keep doing what they're doing. They've had some great aggressive plays. They've put up good defense, and they've really kept the pressure onto this Biscuiteers team. And when you talk about pressure, it continues to get more and more pressure for the Biscuiteers, because if they lose this round, they are done. They are done with their season. Season 5 is over, and Donda Academy move on to a potential rematch. If you think about where we could be headed tomorrow for our first few matches, we could see Donda versus Fireballs again in some scenario. And so that certainly could be interesting. I would like to see what a full force 4v4 looks like with Donda and Fireballs. But either way, it looks like we do have the 4th back in for Donda, and so I imagine we will be getting back to the action in round 2 here, Pally.
Yeah, thanks, Nightfire. And you're mentioning the aggressiveness here of Donda Academy now that they have their 4 players. They made it hard on themselves by not having that full roster earlier on, so they still got a ways to go, but they are in decent position. And that aggression you talked about, to the tune of 17 shots taken. In only 10 for the Biscuiteers here. That said, the Biscuiteers do have 4 more saves compared to what Donda has, but they just have not been able to turn it into shot opportunities, unfortunately. That's the biggest difference maker. But otherwise, still very close game here, so if they can just convert on some of these defensive plays for the Biscuiteers, they'll still be right in this game, because there it is again. Stun, near turnover. It's just what happens after that matters the most. So let's go. 3.5 left.
3.5 remaining, and a 4-point lead here for Donda Academy. So Biscuiteers have to turn on the heat. That'll be picked off by VO Violet. VO Violet finding that clear. The stack is together for the Biscuiteers. Can they read it? Oh, not quite. It will be Ruskin getting home first and getting this one almost cleared right on back through as that bounces around in the midfield area. Picked up and slapped away by Garlic Bread King, but that is where Ruskin is waiting once again. And this time, the Donda clear will go through. That's in the Biscuiteers bubble. It'll be a race, and it'll be won by Garlic Bread King, who gets this one cleared almost out to the mid, bouncing off the lip of tunnel into the hands of Skag. Quick reset now here to Ruskin, who's under some pressure from Project Rich T, so he'll send this one forward, but nobody in the area yet. That is an easy turnover here for Garlic Bread King. A pass up to Project Rich T, and here comes the clear.
Well done from Project and Oculus. Actually, they're playing that backline stack against Donda, and they split them up enough to cause a turnover. But that said, it just turns right back over. So that's the tough thing. Even when they do split their stacks to try and brawl each other, just Donda relentless, it seems like, on getting that disc back before any scores could happen for the Biscuiteers. Maybe about to see more of that here as everyone searches for that disc. And getting left there with a stun, with a pass now to the nest, and a save coming out from Via Violet. And Ultraviolet just popping off inside that goal. But again, the return to Donda. They get another attempt. That's been the story of this round, because they're going around and throwing it home. It's H-Low, and they're up by 6.
Yeah, I really think you hit the nail on the head there. But when we had that timeout and then right here in this play, they're getting the saves, they are getting the turnovers. What they're not getting are the clears through. I mean, Donda Academy is putting up a solid wall on in the midfield to prevent those clears, and it just keeps turning into relentless opportunities for Donda Academy, and they're bound to score eventually if they keep taking those opportunities. And here's another opportunity for Donda Academy as that stack gets there to get the stun and the turnover. Up high now into the hands of Skag. Skag on the popcorn doing some moves, trying to get rid of this Biscuiteer stack, but in the end opts to pass it back to H-Low and Ruskin, who are going for this dribble on through. Here's Ruskin with it now, getting through the stack, getting it sent up to Skag. They do not have the numbers quite yet, but they'll push into the bubble regardless. Memento with it, and oh my, through the hands of VO Violet. But hey, points are points, and that'll be 2 of them for Donda Academy.
And definitely a gut punch type of goal in this final minute to put them
Yep.
up by 8 points, because that was what was almost another great save from Violet, who's had a handful of 5, in fact, credited to Violet in this game. But that is some nice ice coming in from Donda, who still have some ways to go yet in this lower bracket, but looking like they're going to come ahead after this very impressive performance. And got to shout out Skag, because 15 points. Definitely glad that they have their full 4.
Yeah, I mean, if we're shouting out Skag, 15 points and 39 stuns, a lot of those points came from some solid enders from Skag that have contributed to that stun count. But, oh no! Garlic Bread King with the shot attempt, trying to just get a couple more points on the board for the Biscuiteers to take home with them, but not there. Maybe they'll have another chance here. Oh, as Skag picks this up, slapped away by Project Rich T. It'll be recovered here by Oculus, who gets this one sent to the mid, but that is where Ruskin is waiting. A pass up to Skag, a shot that is denied by VO Violet to end out this round.
All right, beautifully done, and that is a round and a match won now by Donda. Biscuiteers, unfortunately for them, will be eliminated here now in the Challengers Cup, but not before leaving some pretty positive impressions here as a 3-season team now. On the up and up for sure. Nightfire, what'd you think of that game?
Yeah, at the risk of chanting Donda for all of the remaining 2 minutes of my analysis, it certainly has been Donda here coming out and, well, getting some energy back into things. You know, the question I have is, will they be able to carry this over to tomorrow? You know, this is not the end. Well, it is the end of gameplay for Donda today. And so, you know, they'll get this break now where they get to relax, focus, maybe watch back some video, look back at how Fireballs played against them when they went 3v4, you know, maybe do some prep against potential future opponents, because they do have some of that footage to go back and look at. But either way, they have something to look forward to and prepare for tomorrow, because they're going to be the first team to kick things off in the matchups in tomorrow's gameplay. So going to be excited for that. But on the note of Biscuiteers, you know, they really did, like you say, put out a great effort here today. They came together as a team. They put on their best foot forward. They went up against the #1 seed and had a tough time, still scored some points, and then they nearly had a round or two against Donda Academy in the losers bracket. But at the end of the day, their season is finished, and so hats off to the Biscuiteers. Looking forward to seeing them play in Season 6, which I think has already been announced, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, a great couple of matchups here to tune into, and we still have great matchups left ahead of us. I mean, you want to talk about an exciting matchup? It's Quackheads versus Synergy up next, Pally.
Yeah, we saw Quackheads earlier on in the stream on here on VRML 2, and we're going to see them again this time, just like this last match here. Going to be a all or nothing type match, a win or go home, figuratively speaking, since they all are home presumably. But as far as their season is concerned, we're in the lower brackets here on Channel 2, so elimination games ahead. But a fun one here for sure. Any other thoughts on this tournament so far, Saika, and what we've seen from these teams?
No, I'm super excited to see how these teams continue to perform. I mean, Donda Academy getting their 4th, coming out really strong in that game, but they are going to be forced to play the losers of match number 8, which is the Femboys and the Fireballs, 2 very solid teams. So I'm stoked to see how they continue on in this tournament.
Absolutely. Looks like Twitch chat stoked also. Thank you everyone again for stopping in. I see a lot of praise there in the chat. We've had some exciting matches for sure. Some upsets even, as we saw earlier on, Femboys versus Typhon. I mean, a lot of interesting developments for sure, these Challenger Cups. D-Foot stopping by saying Caster's looking fly. Well, thank you, sir. Good to see D-Foot in the chat. And DCB Oculus there, applause to the Biscuiteers. Yeah, indeed, great sportsmanship and great compliments to the Biscuiteers because when I look at the Biscuiteers this season, I mean 18-9 that was Donda's record. Biscuiteers' record this season 10-9, or in season 4 that is, and then in season 5 16-9. So that is season over season improvement. They've played the vast majority of the games this season. They've vastly improved their record, and even though they're coming in as definitive underdogs, being pulled from several ranks below the norm, they absolutely performed at a very high level and just showed that season over season growth. So kind of like I was speaking of the Fireballs the last couple seasons who ended at the top of Diamond, Biscuiteers, like last season, the Fireballs showing the signs, and then now Fireballs at the top of Diamond. I think Biscuiteers, we're kind of seeing that growth. So another season from now, Psycho, I mean, that could be the Biscuiteers in this position in the Challengers Cup where they are the favored seed. I could see that easily.
Yeah, for sure. With how they played today, looking at those records and how they are improving season over season, I mean, that is a super solid team to keep an eye on. They had little things that they need to work on that Donda Academy recognized and took advantage of. But if they tighten up those little things in the off season, I'm very excited to see the Biscuiteers come back really strong next season and maybe see them qualify for the cup just outright on their own. We'll see.
Absolutely. And on the flip side too, I was trying to find one comment in the chat earlier, just pointing out how basically a machine gun offense from Donda Academy. I think that's going to be one of the big factors their opponents need to start looking out for as well. Just how to turn the defensive plays when you do stop them into successful clears and successful boosts. Because now that we've seen the full picture, they're definitely a scary team. So I'm excited to see their next matches when they do get casted.
Yeah, speaking of next matches, if we could get the bracket on display here, you'll see what we have coming up as we did finish off Typhon versus Dauntless over on twitch.tv/VR Master League. Typhon ended up being the champion there, so Dauntless will be moving down into the losers bracket. They are loser of 7, I believe. And so Synergy and Quackheads will end up going up against Dauntless, the winner of Synergy and Quackheads. Coming up next on this channel, like we mentioned, Synergy Quackheads, but over on twitch.tv/VR Master League is the Femboys and the Fireballs. I mean, Syke, you talked about it. That is certainly going to be an exciting game. And what a great way to end the Challenger Cup on both channels. I mean, we are in store for some great matchups, and they are just a few minutes away. I believe we're going to go to a brief intermission, and when we come back, you're going to catch Synergy Quackheads here and Femboys and Fireballs over on twitch.tv/VR Master League. So do not go anywhere because the action is about to get intense.
Yes.
Easy going right there. Looking at it. One more to go.
VRware. Our passion is for the future.
Hey, chat.
All right, hey everybody, welcome back to VR Master League, and we are in the end of day one of our European Challenger Cup here on the lower brackets, these elimination matches for all or nothing. Back on the cast, I'm Palador, being joined by Nightfire as well as Psychaotic, and on the cameras we have Wonder T-Man. On the moderating end, we also have Savannah, shout out to her, and Arrow Knight, who was just starting by. So Nightfire, what's the outlook here?
Well, we obviously have an exciting matchup between Quackheads and Synergy to round out this Challenger Cup. And, you know, like we said before, this isn't the end of the Challenger Cup. We have more action tomorrow, same time, same place, and that's when we'll get our final two. We'll end up culling down this group and have the two teams that are going to go on and compete in the postseason against the best of the best in Echo Arena in their division. So certainly a lot to look forward to even after today, but this is going to be an incredibly exciting matchup just between Synergy, you know, not necessarily being the team that I think a lot of people were expecting to lose against the Femboys, and Quackheads. I think we're equally not anticipated to be in this lower bracket, and so it's kind of an interesting affair because one of these teams is going to be eliminated. Side one of these teams that I don't think either. I think a lot of the community would not be in the losers bracket is going to lose today and be done with their season.
It's always kind of a bittersweet thing, right? Because
Yeah.
it wouldn't be exciting if there weren't the stakes online,
Yep.
on the line. But at the same time, if you're a player, it's kind of what you wait the whole season for. It's what you're building towards. It's so many hours and hours of practice and drills and VOD reviews, individual and team workouts, things like that. I mean, people here at Echo across our regions, whether you're in OCE, EU, NA, especially here at the tip top, you're talking players who have been at it dedicated in a dedicated fashion for such a long amount of time. And I mean, we're approaching again the 5-year anniversary of Echo Arena, and the competitive scene has been alive in Echo Arena across leagues, and now here in VRML for pretty much the entire 5 years. And you know, Psychaotic, it's kind of funny too because at this point you're in a sense almost an OG, even though like 3 years ago might not have been the case, but it's like you're kind of like the crop of people among Quest people.
Okay.
Oh, you don't think so?
True.
Like
I don't know,
you're
yeah.
the first. Look, you're the first Quest crop. Okay, the amount of PC players now are probably outnumbered. Like I don't know, 50 to 1. It has to be, right?
Yeah.
So like among this Quest generation now, you're basically OG Quest. You know.
It's true.
It's been a fun time, but I mean, you know as much as anyone around. You know, you've been here the last couple of years. I've been around a little bit before that, but people take Echo pretty seriously here, and they work hard for this stuff.
Yep. I taking it seriously for sure. I struggle to explain to my friends sometimes, like, sorry guys, I can't hang out. I've got my 9th scrim of the week tonight. But hey, I mean, this is, as you said, Echo coming up on its 5th year anniversary, and it has become a community all within its own. I mean, you make friends, you make connections, you make families. VRML and organizations like it sprout out to continue to support that organization and give it different outlets. It is incredible what it's become.
Yeah, and speaking of organizations, we saw the ad for the Redshift LAN coming up. Certainly something to be
Yes.
looking forward to. We love to support events like that. We've had other LANs on this channel, and we're definitely going to be having the Redshift LAN broadcast on this on the Echo Arena VRML channel. So something to be looking forward to if you can't attend physically. Obviously, though, you're going to want to try and get there live because that's where you really get that. A different feeling, than you can anywhere else when enjoying esports. And so I do recommend checking that out. But we also have a handful of sponsors that support the VRML. We've talked about them a little bit at the start of the stream. I want to go briefly through them now. You've seen their ads. You're seeing one actually behind me, and you're looking at it in front of me and on our heads. HyperX supports the VRML, and they have for quite some time. They're one of our favorite sponsors for the VR Master League. They help with quality products for our production team, but also with additions to that prize pool, the Alpha Cloud wired headset. We obviously have the brand new wireless headset on display here, 300-hour battery life. You can get this 20% off if you click the coupon, the code below, the banner below that we have in the Twitch info section. And so if you are interested, do please check that out. I think we'll also see a link in chat for that. But we also have other sponsors like VR Cover, providing fantastic hygiene products for any VR device that you have. VR Wear, with jerseys that you can see on display on Palidor's body right now. Arma, with jerseys that you see on display here with myself and Psy Chaotic. Are two fantastic merch sponsors. I do encourage you to check that out. They're coming out with new stuff pretty consistently, and it's awesome. I know I'm very excited to get my Arma joggers coming in. We have a bunch of other sponsors as well, from Asterion to Kiwi Design. We really do appreciate all the sponsors that end up supporting the Echo Arena VR Master League. VRML, obviously, also one of those organizations that's supporting the prize pool and contributing into, I think, what is now over $10,000 in cash and hardware for that total prize pool. I don't think we've talked much about it, but I'll have to review the exact numbers as it does continue to grow over the course of the season. So going to be something we'll definitely talk about when it comes to the finals, as that's when that prize pool is really on the line. But yeah, we are moments away from getting into the action here, as one team is already readied up. And Synergy and Quackheads, Pally, I mean, this is going to be just a great way to cap off the evening.
Yeah, getting ready here to start soon. We're going to ping the teams, but this is our final match of day one. The actual people who advance to Master and will compete in our finals. That will be tomorrow, day 2, same place, same time, same channels. But right now, you're in the right place at the right time. We'll have a North American Challenger Cup a little bit later on, just as well. And there is the second ready. So, hey, we have Quackheads, again, former Master team in their own right across multiple seasons here in VRML. And facing off against Synergy, who's certainly a team who didn't expect to find themselves maybe in this lower bracket. They went against the Femboys earlier. Synergy, entering as the 2 seed. But now they're in the lower bracket. Now they're fighting for their lives. So let's see what it provides as this neutral joust is underway. And so is the shot. Synergy, it's on.
I wonder if Alpha needed to help that in, because it looked like Alexis might have just been able to fire in that 3, but Alpha was there to grab it and guide it in for the 2, and maybe it was the right choice considering how heavily dense the defense was around the goal. And regardless, it kicks off things nicely for Synergy, puts them up 2-0, and the offensive joust doesn't quite go the way that I think Quackheads were hoping here, but they do ultimately continue to hold the possession of the disc. And this is an open goal 3? No, it's not, as the defense flies back in time, scoops it up, and now tries to reset.
Absolutely, and causing some turnovers with the disruptive stuns there. Gobshite, ever the talented brawler, among many other things. And of course, we were talking about Redshift LAN happening July 29th through 31st. Well, we had the Duckman LAN, and now they're trying to shoot, but they could not quite get the goal. But shout out to Gob there for being a heavy part of that organization for Duckman LAN, which was also streamed here on VRML just a month ago. Back to the mid lane, though, Nightfire, and starting off the pace, let's see, that 3 a little bit off, but both teams just kind of trying to feel each other out, I think, like before.
A big missed opportunity there for a 2. They could have stacked their lead a bit more here from Synergy, but it does not go in, and it results in a turnover and a great pass to the lower end where Essex scoops it up and secures the 2 points. Again, maybe another opportunity where that might have gone in with a 3, but regardless, points are points, and now we're all tied up with 2 minutes ticked down on the clock.
And certainly a opportunity there lost, as you pointed out, for Synergy. Maybe wishing they could take that last play back where they had some open goals, because it's not every day you get that luxury, not here in the Speedy EU. But there's Pingu with a long 3, just as I said that, but again, couldn't capitalize, so that might be a factor to watch out for if they can't get in the rhythm of hitting those open ones. Certainly an experienced team like Quackheads, they can punish. They are rushing, and they are sending and trying, and it's just in off the back, right into the top corner. Place just as well as it needed to be. There's a 3.
Yeah, just as well as it needed to be. I mean, that looked like it really, it did. 6 meters per second, Pally. That thing floated in there. I mean, it hovered over the top. There was opportunities for the stack to come flying in at any moment and steal it, and they came in just a second late after it got floated into off the backboard. But regardless, a big 3 that sets up Quackheads into a nice lead. And now they have possession of Disc inside the zone of Synergy, and they're looking for another attack opportunity. They want to make this a guaranteed 2-goal lead right now.
Yeah, in the mental game, again, coming into factors here, how you respond after a loss. Both these teams taking a loss and now taking a stun. So far, though, the experienced team in Quackheads getting themselves the disc and the momentary lead. They're searching for a long heave down that floor. There's a stack meeting it halfway, but so was the defense. And Ms. Alexis with a deep clear that may turn into a goal. Just bounces off the bottom post. A quick recovery. There's Pingu and rings it home for the 1-point differential. And they needed that, especially after those few misses earlier on, just to stabilize a bit, Knight.
Yeah, you know, you talk about the mental element of the game being important here, and if you carry consecutively missing, I mean, that's going to impact you. You know, that can lead to worse things. That can lead to you really missing your shots, and sometimes you just got to pause, reset, take the secure points. A nice 2 there to get locked in, and you know, we'll see how the reaction here for Quackheads is, because so far they haven't had much success getting inside the zone when we've had the defense set up like this. When Synergy is ready for the attack, they've had a hard time punching into that bubble and getting an opportunity on the goal. And as I say that, the pass comes into the backboard, and a great dive from Alexis. Full clears the disc down into Quackhead zone, and Synergy are looking to take the lead here if they can score the goal on this attack, and they can. A great 1-2 from Alexis to Uveskis.
Yeah, really nice team play there to punish off of some good defense. The Quackheads, they were initially patient with it. They utilized those back passes, but by the time they brought it to the front line, still maybe a little too early. Didn't have any passing options, and just resulted in the easy save and an efficient boost, recovery, and score.
Offensive joust looking good so far. Gets it through the tunnel without much disruption all the way down to Gobshite. And now we can see a setup and an attack, a slap back, and
nice.
A good slap at that, because they were certainly under a heavy dose of pressure. But the team is ready and waiting from Quackheads, and now they're setting up for the attack as a full force. They managed to penetrate this defense. Again, they actually haven't. As here comes the attack, their attempt at getting through all 4, and they managed to thread the needle, Pally.
That they did. So once more, utilizing the back passes and an extra nice one to heavily contested in the bubble, but still found the reset, and eventually it got them the high percentage goal thanks to the team play and the passing.
A great back and forth, trading points here. 1 for 1 now, just a 1-point lead as we get into the back half of round number 1. The offensive joust goes into the hands of Quackheads, and Quackheads dribble their way up off the backboard for a 2. A great stack play to lock in a 3-point lead now. Still only 1 goal, though, Pally. So, again, not anything to be too comfortable with.
Both teams kind of putting in these miniature runs, 2-goal runs or so, just trading off, essentially. And as I said, the first round, a lot of the time, that'll be sort of the warm-up round, the feel-out process for a team you're playing for the first time on a given day, just getting into the rhythm of things. But we're seeing as the round does wind down how it starts playing out, and we're seeing those passes connect just like that one. We're seeing the teams diving, but instead getting taken off guard by the blazing stack, and now guns blazing to the front line on some recoveries. So fast to it was Synergy, being contested there by Gob, who stuns that stack out and splits them up a little bit, but all the meanwhile, going to open up the opportunity for Gob's teammates to recover. So there's the boss now, knowing that they have the disc advantage and the stack split up. Now they just need to find their own. But unfortunately, the double stack meta, it's going to do things like that. But what a grab coming in. The boss! The boss! Oh, but no love lost off the post. Rebounded and stunned. Turnover to Alexis now.
Oh, what an opportunity. A massive steal. The 1v1 ultimately does not go in. They went for the top pocket and couldn't quite sink it where they were looking for. The back pass here does get the disc secured comfortably into Quackhead's hands, and they have a 3-point lead, so they can't afford to tick the clock down if that's a route they want to go, but it's not exactly a safe one. A 3-pointer can tie things up. A 2 takes it down to just a 1-point lead, and they nearly put 2 in there as the attack comes in from Synergy in a relentless assault that ultimately leads to Pingu locking in 2.
Really tense minute of gameplay there for sure. A couple of times that was close, but they finally secured it for Synergy, and they bring themselves within 1. They've still got plenty of time in this round. 2 minutes and some seconds remaining. So now just goes right back to again, how you respond, how you react. Both these teams have really just been trading blows and have not been pulling ahead by more than a couple goals, so it's still anyone's match. This is usually where I would point out it comes down in these situations, usually to the more experienced team, who is historically Quackheads, but Synergy, I mean, they are showing their stuff, but so is the boss. This time, no one there to save the day. It is an open lay-in for the Deep Fling.
I mean, they missed the upfront two-pointer and then lock in a deep three like that. What a crazy shot to take with the pressure on like this. A great way to get this lead up to 2 goals finally. The Quackheads have done it, but now Synergy are looking to answer back. They're in their offensive joust. They managed to push into the zone nicely as a team, and they're going to try and set up for the attack. They still haven't gotten up to the bubble as this defense is set up a bit far forward, waiting for the assault. Up to the bow tie there, and a nice bit of back and forth, a little juking around the Geo. Here comes the pass over to the corner, and we'll see how Pengu and this team decide to try and advance forward into this bubble, as there's the pass to the backboard and a great bit of defense.
Wow, good save there from Essex, just recovering and allowing Gob to recover just as well. That's an important save because, in a sense, that's defensive ice. If they can get a clear goal or even just a clear and stall some timeout, that save could be instrumental in this first round win. Wasting precious seconds as Miss Alexis recovers. That's going to be flung deep into the boot, sent sideways, but the boss is there to recover. At this point, for sure, if you're Quackheads, you need to not concede exactly that. An open 3, that's a bit high. They need to get there and cover it off, make him score twice. It's Alpha Wolf with a disc, trying to dice through the defense and slices it home for a 2-point differential now. Not a lot of time remaining, though.
Just in the nick of time, because like you said, this timer is going to tick down actively right now. They can't do anything about that. They're going to have 10 seconds truly to work with here. They're going to have to go for a very aggressive defensive joust. They're going to have to get this intercept, and it's down to Quackheads for presenting that. As we get down into the 5 seconds, here comes the push out. It doesn't look like Synergy are going to be able to get their hands on the disc, nor do they really even go for it, as round 1 ends with Quackheads taking a 12-0 lead, or a 12-10 lead.
You know, I have some thoughts on that last play, but first I want to hear from Psychaotic and what she thought of that round. Very close.
Yeah, very close indeed, and honestly, it feels like we watched 2 rounds in one. The first half of that round, very different from the second half. In the first half of that round, it felt like the teams were still trying to feel out each other's play styles. They weren't executing as well as we would expect from 2 teams like this. I mean, Synergy coming from Master, Quackheads being a preseason team, but missing some easy passes and missing some easy 2-pointers that certainly cost them in the end as the game got closer and closer. But the second half, much more clean than the first half. Quackheads cleaned up their passing. They had more of a control-based playstyle as they worked it up and down the arena. Synergy relying a bit more on clear and boost, which did not work as well for them as I think they would have hoped, because Quackheads were very fast to get together and beat them at their own game in that regard. I also want to draw your attention right now to one particular stat. There is 0 saves on the side of Synergy right now, and I'm not pointing that out to say that they're playing poorly on defense. I'm saying they are giving Quackheads way too many open lanes where they've got one-on-ones and one-on-nones, and that's where they're finding a lot of points.
All right, thank you, Saika. And just kind of to cap off what happened at the end of the round there, I was very curious because you mentioned the clear and boost, Saika, and the stacks that they were trying to prioritize for Synergy. Now that final joust where they were down 2 points and then on defense, Synergy didn't have stacks going really. They kind of split off in almost a man, and oh man, it's Gob now with a walk and goal, 2 points. But it was just curious because they had it so close and then they kind of went away from the strategy that was, well, at least keeping them within 2 points, and then they had no aggression, so it was kind of a conceded victory. But this goes back, Nightfire, to what I was mentioning towards the end of the round, in how these high-pressure type matches, that's when I usually favor, just in terms of likelihood of winning, the teams who have been there many times before, like the Quackheads. Yeah,
experience definitely pays dividends, and, well, they've already managed to get a 2-0 lead. As the assault comes in here for Synergy, we'll have to wonder how long that lead is maintained, because Synergy are certainly continuing to apply pressure in round 2. A fire onto the goal goes a bit wide, but right back into the hands of Pengu, almost like a bit of a game of toss off the backboard with themselves. But that time gets interrupted, slapped away from the defense, though, and the offense is brawling for this disc on the bottom of the zone. It finally gets cleared out, and for now, Quackheads get to breathe and take a bit of a break here and get ready for the assault.
Oh, brawling is right. Is it going to buy the goal? Looks like. Walking it in. Oh, no, he got too lax with it, but taking it back, another attempt. And they needed this one, or else that could be momentum shift. Those are the ones, again, that will kill you. So right down the floor, if that's an open three, it could be punishing. But just the same, they missed the opportunity as well. So nullifying each other's mistakes almost there on 2 missed goals on either side.
Oh, the open goal threes, Pally. They're tough when the pressure's on, when your season's on the line, when you're looking at the option of being eliminated. Making those threes gets to be a little bit difficult. You know, the pressure starts to mount up. Doesn't seem to be difficult, though, for Quackheads to get another 2, as a good bit of passing from the boss to Essex gets their lead up to 2 goals.
There you go. And, you know, fortunately for Essex, and it's a good thing, a good quality to have, short-term memory on offense in terms of, okay, you forget about the last miss, the next opportunity you get seconds later, you're going to make the best of it. You wipe any mistakes off the slate. So beautiful job there by the Quackheads to just forget about it and then score to take the 4-point lead.
Uh-oh. Defense misses the disc, almost goes into the hands of Alpha Wolf behind them, but instead the stack comes in to save the day. Speaking of, the defensive stack flies in time from Synergy to slap that one back into the hands of Uveskis, who clears it down. Here comes the stack flying in to challenge the defense. The shot off the backboard goes just a touch wide, and another missed shot for Synergy here. They have not been able to put one into the goal yet, and we're coming down now with 3 minutes of time played in the round total. Another clear for Quackheads. They're looking for another opportunity to score, and Essex does it.
Okay, 6 points now in the first few minutes of this second round. Again, decisive match in terms of who advances and whose season ends here today. So kind of at that juncture where this would be kind of a timeout-worthy time almost. You really don't, if you're Synergy, you do not want to eat another goal. They have to score here. I know there's 6 minutes left, but they just need to see points on the board. That's all they need to get this started, and then they'll be fine. But if they can't get a score here and they get scored against, that could be serious trouble for them in the rest of this round.
A very big round, a very big moment here for this team as they do try to synergize and push up, and they can't get that shot to go through the defensive wall as Middleman scoops it up and snags it. They still have possession. They do get it up to Alexis, who does some good footwork and gets the disc back into the center of the arena where Pingu finally finds 2. Pally, now do you take the timeout or you just keep rolling because you've finally gotten a goal in?
Now you can breathe for sure. That first shot didn't have a lot of mustard under it, made it, especially for a goalie like Middleman, he's going to save that 9 out of 10 times. But that second shot, 7 meters in and 18 meters a second, just about as fast as you can get. Much better place, much more effective. They've finally broken the ice, and now they just got to defend, get back to their game that brought them here to the Master Tier in Europe this season.
Quackheads rolling out their first offensive joust of the round 2 and trying to set up for an attack, trying to bounce back, rebuttal, if you will, from that 2-pointer from Synergy and keep their lead at a comfortable 6. Because right now, with how low scoring this series has been, 6 does feel a little bit comfortable. I say that knowing that a long distance 3 could change everything, and that long distance 3 just doesn't quite go in. Pings off the geode. The backboard shot goes a touch wide, and maybe some opportunities getting squandered here as the full force of Synergy was there ready to attack. But those shots end up going now into the hands of Quackheads, who clears down into Synergy's zone. And we ping pong back and forth between Synergy and Quackheads.
And just notice the difference here in offense. We're seeing some of these shots from Synergy now taken. Last one, a little bit rushed as well. You see the Quackheads, though, they're so very much prioritizing the slower gameplay, the extra passes, the back passes, the underarm, and juke and goal. I mean, every move they're doing is so meticulous and calculated for Synergy. Again, a super talented team. You would not be Master Tier if you were not in the top percentile of this game full of hundreds of teams. But in terms of the context of just this cup, right now, we are definitely seeing that almost calm factor for the Quackheads, and we're seeing a bit of rushing going on for Synergy.
Definitely tough for Synergy. The pressure gets more and more as the clock ticks down ever so slowly for them, or quickly, depending on your perspective, as this could be their last round played in Season 5. Quackheads looking to continue their advancement through the losers bracket, looking to lock in
Wow.
a 8-point lead as Essex threads that through, and they are just, like you said, looking like a nice methodical team here, advancing forward as a full squad. Great pass work inside the bubble, and Synergy, now they need to take a timeout. We talk about timeouts, now's a good time. You know, they really need a reset, and they try to go for a quick joust, and it goes completely wrong for them. Now into the hands of Quackheads. They're looking to pile on at this stage, trying to get 10 points onto their lead, but a key intercept from Pengu keeps things at bay for now.
Key intercept is right. I'll say what I said earlier. They need to score here. Every possession at this point feels so crucial for Synergy. And if that goes in, I mean, we're talking early ice at this point. So needing to find some momentum because they do not have a lot of time to spare. Quackheads won that first round by 2 points, and they are in position with 8-point lead now. So let's just see if they can muster up again, that master level play down the field, but just no one again there to follow up, and the Quackhead's a bit faster to those stacks.
We've seen, I think, 3 or 4 open goal 3 attempts come in from Synergy. I mean, this game could be so much different if those open goal shots had gone in. Instead, it is, well, a comfortable lead, 8 points as we get into the final 2 minutes of this round 2. That 8 becomes 10. And 10 points in 2 minutes, Pally, can be done, I think, but it's going to take a little extra.
Yeah, you know, at this pace, with this game, and just the momentum is completely swung now into Quackhead's favor. It was close in the first round, but they have ran away with it this time. And, you know, because we didn't see, again, the adjustments and the timeouts, and it just, maybe when they were more timely. Now at this point, it's just a matter of time because we can see Quackheads. They are just locked and loaded. Look at this. I mean, just absolutely in full fluid motion up and down the floor on their stacks, on their passes, on their shots. This is the Quackheads that were master tier in prior years, in prior seasons. And now kind of heartbreak because Synergy facing knockouts when they are just on the cusp of being in finals coming into this cup in the master tier.
It is one of the toughest pills to swallow when you lose out of the Master Tier in your final, you know, in the Challenger Cup, in that final Challenger Cup. A scenario that I don't know a lot of people necessarily expected, but right now the nail has been put into the coffin. The game has been iced. Quackheads with 17-2 lead are nearing a mercy at this stage in this final minute, and that means that they are going to be at least moving on through the losers bracket. Again, they're done for today, but not for the weekend. They have more games to play tomorrow. And so if anything, they can take this time to, you know, lock in a good W here with 30 seconds left. And then get ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be the challenge, Pallador. You know, right now, they did get challenged well by Synergy. But ultimately, in this second round, they've shown that, well, they're capable of playing a little bit faster than maybe they had the rest of this tournament. And they have to move up through the losers bracket, but we'll have to see how they do it as round 2 ends and Quackheads eliminate Synergy.
Yeah, what a statement game that was from Quackheads trying to return to their former glory, and for Synergy, just not the results they wanted today, but as I always put the asterisk on there, because I know how it is from both the spectating and the playing perspective, right? But just don't forget, these matches and these players, they are still here for a reason. This was not Synergy's day today, but again, if you're a master, you're still top of the line. There's just not top of the line in the Challenger Cup this time around. But very well played, certainly from Quackheads. And Psychaotic, your kind of summarizing thoughts, I suppose, on what we just saw there.
I had notes that were picking on Quackheads for the first 2 minutes. And then they turned up the heat. They put the pedal to the metal. I don't know what they did, but in one word, unrelenting. I mean, the stacks so fast, the passes, making the defenders head spin. They gave Synergy no room to breathe, and once that started happening, Synergy just never was able to collect themselves and find a way to counter that speed, that pressure, everything that Quackheads was putting on them. And I mean, it was extraordinary to see, because that was something that we haven't seen from Quackheads all day. I've casted Quackheads once or twice during the cycle. I haven't seen that from them. I don't think anyone expected that, but hey, they played out of their minds and they earned this victory.
Yeah, nature of the beast of this Challenger Cup. Again, Synergy coming in as the second-seeded team. So they were coming from the Master Division, but got beat in the upper brackets by the Femboys, and then just couldn't quite close it out here against Quackheads in the first round, and just kind of got away from them in that second. So, yeah, just very interesting developments all around for sure. And it's, it's one of those things like Knight, I think you said it earlier, a tough pill to swallow for sure. And it was, as I was alluding to, towards the end of the first round, where usually is the case, just based on tendencies in history. A team who has more experience with these kind of Challenger Cups and these big matches, they'll kind of go into them usually, a bit more calmer, and they're not having the whole outside factors of thinking of the streams and as much, and the high pressure situations. I was even there recently, right? Like coming back as a player and getting streamed. And the first few games where I was casted for like the first time in years, I felt the pressure again. I didn't think I would, since I cast all the time. But no, even me, like it's a different beast when you're in front of everybody at home and you know that you have to win and make it count right now, right here.
It's what makes the Challenger Cup so dang exciting. It's what has been so exciting about the start of this Challenger Cup, and it's why I'm so excited about tomorrow, because tomorrow is nothing but elimination. Tomorrow is nothing but last chances, and finally we'll have 2 champions crowned that'll move on for that opportunity to compete for that prize pool that comes in from our sponsors, which we've shouted out several times today already. So certainly something to be looking forward to for a lot of these teams, and for us to look forward to tomorrow. If you did forget, that'll be starting at the same time, same place on both channels, but then ultimately will be the rest of I think the final few games are just going to be on twitch.tv/VR Master League. So have both channels up at the start, and then ultimately catch the finals over on that channel over on twitch.tv/VR Master League tomorrow. But yeah, I got nothing else, Pally. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy that we tuned into some great games.
Absolutely, and happy to be casting alongside you guys. Also worth noting, too, if you do have the Venues app or you have a Quest, get the Venues app, too, and go visit these matches in Venues. If you watch on Twitch, great, but Venues is also a awesome thing of its own, because you get to be in the kind of a theater scenario, watching the game with a bunch of other people and all with the open comms, and it's a fun time. So go download Venues and check us out on there for these big events. Don't forget as well that North American streams day 1 are starting later on today as well. That's at 3 p.m. Pacific, so 6 Eastern time. And it's going to be a good time. This is a little bit of a taste here for starters, this day 1, and it only gets better and better across the days and across the brackets, and all the more intense. Again, finals next weekend as well for the championships and the prize pool. It's an amazing time to be competing in Echo Arena and to be watching or casting. But that said, I think that does do it here for us. Any final words from you, Saika, or shall we do the sign-off?
Let's do the sign-off.
Okay, well, no, it's been a while, at least since the Creators Cup anyways, but I've been Palador, that's been Nightfire, that's been Psychaotic, and Wonder T-Man on the cams here on VRML Channel 2. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, be safe, and be good to each other. We're going to see you again really soon. VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Asterion Products, Border Foods, VR Cover, ProTube VR, Rebuff Reality, and VRware.net.